football presented by Covert Ford. Now let's head to the field with Brad Tillery.
Live from Manor High School in Manor, Texas, just outside of Austin, McNeil Maverick football and Round Rock ISD is on the air. Tonight, the McNeil Mavericks begin District 25 play in 6A as they hit the road to take on the Manor Mustangs here just outside of Austin in Manor. Welcome into the broadcast, everyone. Brad Tillery, Ike Kohler here with you for Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford, as it is every single week. Ike, these two teams both come into the game 2-1 on this season, having taken losses last week. McNeil beaten at home by Hendrickson in a game where Hendrickson really dominated the ground late, but a lot of turnovers in the game for McNeil last week.
Henderson absolutely dominated the ground. And you mentioned the turnovers. McNeil had 4 interceptions and 1 fumble on offense. And their offense, because of that, they weren't able to move the ball and go score. And that's going to be a big key to McNeil winning this game. And they're facing a Manor team who's 2-1. They have quality wins over OBJ and Copper's Cove. And it'll be really important for them to stop the run as well.
Yeah, this Manor team, 7-4 last year. They made the bi-district playoffs before getting beat by Dripping Springs in round 1. They were 3rd in the district, and you mentioned them last week. They took a loss last week, I believe, to Copper's Cove was the final. Right. It was a final on the road, 42-36, a close game. This Manor team, though, they can score points, Ike. 39, 47, and 42 points in their first 3 games. And they're led by an all-world running back.
He's a senior running back. He actually played linebacker last year for the Manor Mustangs. Their running back was Quentin Joyner, who now runs for USC. And this offseason, Titus Petaway, he's 6'1", 220. He made the transfer to running back, and he is the star of this offense. He's averaged 250 yards a game.
11 yards a carry so far for Titus Petaway. He has been the main man on offense as well, so a bit of a balanced attack, even though that running back Titus Petaway sure is leading the way.
And I've had a chance to see Zardovitz play his sophomore year and some his junior year. He's 6'4", 195. He can really throw it. He had, in the loss last week against Copper's Cove, he had 348 yards, a couple touchdowns. And he's hot right now despite the loss. Yeah,
Petaway, just looking more through his stats, you already talked about the 250 yards average per game. He's already got 11 TDs on the ground and another one as a receiver. So he has been much, if not the bulk of the offense so far. But we mentioned Zardovitz. He's throwing for 272 a game through the first 3 weeks as well. As we get set for kickoff tonight, we're going to step aside, let you hear from the head coach of the McNeil Mavericks, Coach Scott Hermes, and then when we come back after that, kickoff tonight between the McNeil Mavericks and the Manor Mustangs. As you watch and listen live on the iHSFAN network, this is Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility. And with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. CovertFord.com.
Bush's Chicken is a proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. With stores in Cedar Park, Round Rock, Georgetown, both North and South Austin, and our newest store serving Pflugerville and Hutto. Bush's serves the Texas standard in real hand-battered fried chicken and crispy tenders, tasty rolls, and that famous Bush's sweet tea. Bush's Chicken, proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. The Texas standard. Bush's Chicken. It's good, good, good. Longtime McNeil parent Brian Kerman is a realtor who works for RE/MAX Capital City. Brian is involved in helping Round Rock families buy, sell, invest, and lease properties in the greater Austin area. He has been doing so for over 24 years. As a thank you to the community, he will be honored to donate $1,000 to your favorite booster club or other 501c3 if you use him and you close on a property. We hope you will contact Brian for all of your real estate needs at 512-921-4490 or at Brian Kerman at remax.net.
If you're looking for a special medical spa to bring out the beauty that's in you, come visit us at Ginger Allure Med Spa. At Ginger Allure, we treat our staff and patients like family. We're here to embrace, enhance, and showcase your natural beauty with a full range of services such as injectables, laser treatments, permanent makeup, microblading, and more. We provide free consultations for all of our services to answer any of your questions. Visit us online at gingerallure.com or give us a call at 512-709-0161. Ginger Allure Med Spa, the classic approach to a new you.
Welcome back into the pregame show as we get set for kickoff of district play tonight in 6A District 25. The race for the Texas High School playoffs begins in earnest this evening with the McNeil Mavericks on the road taking on the Manor Mustangs. And now joining me once again, the head coach of the McNeil Mavericks, Coach Scott Hermes. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
So let's real quick visit last week. Obviously a tough loss against Hendrickson. I'm sure you're going to point to turnovers. It's kind of the big thing.
6 turnovers, that'll do it. Hard to win a game whenever you turn the ball over 6 times, only get 1 takeaway.
What was the message this week in practice to try to clean up those mistakes and get ready for this week's district game?
Well, I mean, I think that talent-wise we're there, but you know, it's you can't make those kind of mistakes. Right? There's certain things you can't do. Offensively, we got to take care of the ball. Defensively, we got to make the stop run.
Were you able to take some positives out of the loss last week?
Yeah, there were a lot of really good things that we did. It's just, again, those mistakes overshadow the good stuff, right? So we played a really good first half into the last 4 minutes. And then in the second half, we just didn't get the job done.
So we look at a game against Manor tonight, and this is a team that, on paper, they score a lot of points. I think 35 plus in each game so far. What have you seen on tape, and what's the plan to try to stop this attack?
Well, offense is really good. New offensive coordinator, he's doing a great job. Coach Brown, went up against him whenever he was over at Vista Ridge, and always did a good job there. But it's all about the running back. He leads them in scoring, he leads them in yards, and he kind of makes everything go. They want to get the ball to the receivers in space, and then try to hit you over the top. So we got to stop the running game first.
On your own offense, let's talk about, we've talked about your sophomores and the stars that you have coming up through here. The first 3 weeks, the non-district games, really trying to get into the varsity system and varsity play and the adjustment from freshman ball. How's the growth been that you've seen so far?
It's good. It's ongoing, though, right? It's going to be a thing for the rest of the year, and got to teach these guys, and it's a lot. It's everything from how to practice to meetings and what, how we do things. Just, our standard, and they're figuring it out, though, and they're coming along. I'm excited. I'm just excited today as I was, 3 weeks ago when we got ready for week 1 with these guys. So they're some talented dudes, and we got to get them the ball.
Take me into the locker room this week, and what's the message with district play starting? How do you does it amp up a little? Do you talk a little differently about this game versus the previous 3?
No. We treat every game the same, to be honest with you. And so we're not going to highlight this game because it's district, and oh my goodness, now it all of a sudden counts. Every week we go into it, we want to play our best. We have our goals. We talk about those goals. We talk about our standards. And look, here's the deal. We play to our capabilities. We take care of the ball. We tackle better. I think we got a great chance of coming out top.
One last question. We'll get you out of here. It's veritable sweater weather. Our sweater weather around here right now, right? It's not 100 degrees. You guys actually had a week where you didn't have to necessarily bake in over 100 degrees. It's maybe some rejuvenation in the legs and the guys this week.
Well, I certainly for the coaches, I can tell you that. No, you're right. I think last Friday was the hottest game that we had all year. I think it was about 107 at game time. So yeah, this 85 right now is okay. But yeah, our kids were excited. I mean, it's crazy how the weather affects things. But whenever it's in the mid 80s at 8 a.m., 7 a.m. already, like it had been, and then come outside and get some low 70s, people feel a little bit better, bounce around a little bit.
All right, we appreciate the time. Good luck tonight as district play kicks off.
Awesome, thanks, man.
That's Coach Scott Hermes, the head coach of the McNeil Mavericks. We're back in just a minute to get you set here from Manor as we get ready for more high school football on Friday night. This is Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford on the iHSFAN network.
The Lodge Poker Club is a members-only card club offering a wide range of daily and tournament gameplay. In Round Rock, just off exit 251 on I-35, the Lodge now boasts the largest card room in Texas with 82 tables, comfortable chairs, and 40 75-inch TVs. The Lodge provides fully trained dealers and on-site security with state-of-the-art camera system to ensure the comfort and safety of our members. Open 24 hours a day. More information at thelodgepokerclub.com or call us at 512-614-4045.
Visit Mays Street Boutique in Round Rock for all your shopping needs. Whether you're looking for a special gift or that perfect outfit that everyone will love, we have you covered. Come visit us in-store or shop us online at maysstreet.com. We appreciate your business and thank you for shopping local. RJAC Pressure Washing, Epoxy and Stain. Veteran owned and operated, serving Central Texas. For the last 10 years, residential and commercial services available, here for all your decorative flooring needs. Call us at 512-593-8567. That's 512-593-8567.
You are listening to the Horn Webcast Network, powered by iHSFAN. If you're interested in advertising on or privately supporting this webcast, please reach out to us on Twitter at iHSFAN. All audio rights of this webcast presentation belong to iHSFAN, and any intent to rebroadcast or retransmit must have express written consent from iHSFAN.
Welcome back in. We're going to step aside, stay silent for a second while they play the national anthem. Unfortunately, no crowd mic tonight, but stay silent, and we'll be right back with you. A nice job by the Manor Band as they play the national anthem. So glad to have you along with us tonight as we get set for kickoff. Brad Tillery, Ike Kohler here with you live on the iHSFAN Network as the McNeil Mavericks will kick off District 25 play here in 6A against the Manor Mustangs. These two teams played last year. We talked about it earlier in district play. Manor took the final contest 45-14 on the way to a third-place finish in the district. Of course, McNeil went 2-8 last year, winless in the district, although they played a ton, and I do mean a ton, of very, very close football games during district play. So we are going to hopefully see some, we expect to see McNeil come out firing tonight, of course, with all the offensive talent they have this year. A little bit older roster this year as well. Some of that experience coming back. This Manor team, high flying. They will score a lot of points, at least they have over the course of a few weeks. So this should be a very interesting matchup, Ike, in how these two teams attack each other.
And from what I could tell with the Manor offense, it's a very balanced attack, and they've beaten opponents both ways through the ground, and also Zardovich passing it through the air. And we'll see how this McNeil defense responds and sets the tone early. We've been talking about how tough this district competition is for the last 3 weeks, and this district in the pre-district games, they have a combined 17-7 record.
Yeah, we expect this district to be wide open all year round. There really hasn't been a team out there in pre-district play that's kind of set itself apart, it feels like, and feels like Round Rock might be a little bit down compared to previous years, which it seems to open up some extra play as well. For McNeil, it's going to be Cole Faulkner actually kicking it away. A little pooch kick to the sideline. It'll be fielded by Peyton Guyton. He'll step. Actually, that's not Guyton. Excuse me. That is Cam Lewis, and Lewis gets to the 28-yard line, and that'll be about it. So it sounds like that, or looked rather, that was a play just to keep it short, as Cole Faulkner kicked it away. Usually, it's the big leg Bryce Wilson rather, doing it for McNeil. Bit of a surprise there in the early going. Here's Manor to start it off, and their quarterback Jason Zardovitz with all-world running back Titus Petway standing next to him in the first quarter. Zardovitz, quick throw near sideline, ball caught to Rayshad Gary, and he is hit hard out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Bobby Holland, the right outside linebacker there to make the play, but a gain of about 6 or 7 on first down.
That was a great hit by Bobby Holland. He's coming off a 12-tackle game against Hendrickson.
Yeah, Holland's leading the way in tackling for this McNeil football team. And I say Holland's plural because of Bobby and Marshall. Man in motion, that's Peyton Guyton. Instead, they hand it off to the running back Petaway around the right side. He gets the edge. He's met near the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a couple, and he's going to be right near the sticks. They'll mark him just shy. The Hollands, by the way, have combined for 62 tackles coming into tonight. It's 3rd and half a yard for Manor. Just underway. The field mostly in the shade. Manor in the black uniforms with the red helmets tonight. McNeil in the white and blue helmets with the blue numerals. Run right up the middle. Petway bounces out left. He's met at the line. He'll get just enough for a first down, but McNeil really giving him no running room. He's able to fall forward for about a yard and a half, though, and that will move the sticks.
Outside of the first passing play, we've just seen straight runs to Petaway.
Well, we expected a lot of that. Petaway, as you mentioned in the pregame, averaging 250 yards a game on just 21 carries per contest. Zardovitz stands in the shotgun, hands it off again. Petaway over the left side, falls up to the 45-yard line as he slices and dices his way through for a gain of 6. He's averaging 11 a carry, though, this season, so if you can hold him to a relatively reasonable gain on first down, McNeil, you'll have a chance as we get going. 5th play of the drive as we're just underway. Again, it is Petaway dancing through the hole, breaks a couple of tackles. He finds his way to midfield, and he's got a first down. Couple of McNeil defenders in on the tackle, Keegan McBride and Aiden Taylor there to bring him down.
And if McNeil's going to keep Petaway under control on the ground, it's going to start with the left side of that defensive line, and Darren Powell and Jaden Wellmaker have been 2 playmakers up front.
Peyton Guyton goes into motion. A flag comes in, and that's going to be a pre-snap penalty against the homestanding Manor Mustangs to back them up 5 yards. McNeil's sideline on the other across the way, and their band get going. See the fans filing in still here tonight in Manor. Guyton in motion. Quick throw near sideline, ball caught on the screen. Rashard Gray with the catch. He gets back close to the original line of scrimmage for a gain of 4 or 5. Couple of McNeil players in on the tackle. Looks like Cole Haga and Darren Powell out to greet him.
That's the second time we've seen that kind of quick release pass. Peyton Guyton out of the slot, motioned to the bottom of the field, and blocked McBride, which was the key block.
2nd and 10. Zardovitz to throw. Plenty of time in the pocket. Fires one right down the middle pretty deep, and it will be caught into the end zone. He goes. Touchdown, Manor. Cam Lewis comes up with a 54-yard touchdown reception over Cameron Green.
That was a great throw by Zardovitz. It looked like Cameron Green did a good job of closing the distance. He just wasn't able to deflect the pass, and now Manor is what started out as a slow drive and then the false start penalty. The deep shot from Zardovitz puts Manor up a touchdown.
50-yard touchdown pass, Zardovis to Lewis, extra point on the way from Victor Villalba, and it will just sneak over, and that is good. 7-0 your score with 8:34 to go in the first quarter after a 7-play touchdown drive to get it going.
And we mentioned the versatility of this Manor offense. We saw it on full display on this drive. McNeil was doing a decent job of holding Petaway under his normal yards per carry.
Manor 7 plays, 65 yards, 3 minutes, 22 seconds off the clock. Zardovic at a 50-yard touchdown pass to Cam Lewis. So get the scoring going for Zardovic. That's touchdown pass number 8 so far this year. And for Cam Lewis, that is his second trip to the end zone. McNeil will have to find a way to respond in the opening quarter. We mentioned this offense for the Manor Mustangs will score points in bunches, and they come out quickly and put some points on the board. See who kicks it away.
Zardovic had plenty of time on that pass, too.
Yeah, he had all day. There was the rush wasn't there, and you kind of wonder what the game plan of the defensive line might be tonight for McNeil. This is a team that likes to be aggressive, likes to bring pressure, but when you bring pressure and you catch a block, then that opens up running lanes. Whereas a run defense might kind of just wants to really, a successful run defense oftentimes just wants to be neutral at the line of scrimmage. If you're not getting pushed backwards and you're not losing the line of scrimmage, that clogs up holes and allows your linebackers to make plays. So I'm interested to see how McNeil continues to operate, but what that's going to do is put pressure on the secondary to make plays in the passing game. Oh, let's see who kicks it away. It appears to be number 81 again, Victor Villalba. A run up from the right-footed kicker, high end over end towards the sideline. Aiden Taylor's going to let that go out of bounds, and that's a procedure penalty. So McNeil will get the ball in good field position to start their first drive of the game.
We've talked a lot about Petaway so far, but McNeil's star running back Joshua Williams, he's a great running back. He was held to, I think it was under 50 yards last game, but he's a solid running back. He ran for over 100 yards the first 2 games of the season.
So McNeil's not going to take the field position. They're going to back up Manor and force a re-kick here, and I think I understand why. Villalba has not shown the strongest leg on the extra point nor the kickoff, and I think considering the returns that we have seen this year, especially from Joshua Gayden, that it makes sense that McNeil wants to give Gayden and that return team a shot to try to break one. If you go back and you really look at some stats for him, Gayden has been averaging, when he gets the opportunity to bring one back, he's averaging 22 yards a carry, but he's busted one for as long as 67 yards. So now they go back to the 35-yard line to kick it off. It is Gayden and Taylor deep. They both stand at around the 20-yard line. There's another high end over end kick. It will be fielded near the 20 by Taylor by the sideline. Up to the 25. Makes a man miss. Cuts forward to the 35. And ultimately, Manor is going to end up with the ball right about, or excuse me, McNeil rather, will get the ball right about where they would have had it. I like the idea, though. It's kind of a feast or get back to normal where you already were, but the opportunity is there to potentially break one on a short kickoff and take advantage.
And another point to add to that, too, Gayden and Taylor, they were positioned all the way up to the 20-yard line.
7-0 your score. Manor leads. Sorry, I forgot to update the scoreboard. If you're just joining us, there's a handoff up the middle to Joshua Williams, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage, a gain of 1 for him.
It was number 19, Javon Pierre-Paul, on the stop.
Jaden Schultz, the quarterback for the McNeil Mavericks. Of course, the Mavs will rotate QBs throughout the night between he and Gerald Gary. Gary also plays wide receiver for this team. Schultz, a fake handoff, throws one to the slot, and it'll be caught quickly and taken down for a gain of about 4 or 5. Bo Baker with the catch, hit immediately by Ronzel Woods. 3rd and 5.
Bo Baker is coming off a 5-reception game for 77 yards. He was a weapon last week for this McNeil offense.
3rd down, 5 to go for McNeil. 4 receivers into the set, 2 on each side, with Williams standing to the left of Schultz. Schultz drops back, has time in the pocket, will throw, and that is incomplete. There should be a flag, though, and they will not throw one. Dayron Calhoun was brought down and around the Manor 45 long before the football got there, but it falls incomplete. No flag for pass interference. Maybe they're saying there was just feet getting tangled up, but I'm sure you saw what I saw. And we'll leave it at that. So 3 and out for McNeil to start the drive. See if Bryce Wilson's in there to kick this one away. That appears to be him. Long kick fielded at the 24. Fair caught. Actually, that's not Wilson. Excuse me. That's Cole Faulkner again kicking. So you wonder if maybe Bryce isn't playing tonight. I don't see him on the sideline either. He's been doing all of the kicking duties this year for the McNeil Mavericks. And if Bryce Wilson's not in the game tonight, that's a weapon that is not available, because we've seen him make some field goals from some pretty significant distances already this year. Manor back out on offense. Second time they've had the ball tonight. Fake handoff. Petaway will throw. Zardovitz will throw. That ball is complete. Making a man miss, and then up to the 40-yard line goes Peyton Guyton. And that's a first down after a gain of about 14 yards.
Peyton Guyton has a couple touchdowns on the year. He's a pretty fast kid, too. Good job of picking up yards after the catch, moving the chains.
1st and 10. Man goes in motion. That's Johnny Buhenwa. And then a flag comes down late before the ball could even be snapped. It's a false start. That backs up Manor 5 yards. First ball game this year, I believe, that has kicked off in under 100-degree weather for these McNeil Mavericks. It was actually bearable on the field today doing pregame interviews, Ike.
There's a bunch of rain in the area the last couple days, too.
Yeah, I found that out when I landed last night back from my work trip. I'll tell you about that here in a second. 1st and 15, though. There's a handoff to the running back, Titus Petaway. He only picks up about 2. It'll be 2nd and long. So I got home last night. We landed, and we had to sit on the tarmac for... We landed about 11 or so, 10:30. We had to sit on the tarmac for 45 minutes while they waited for a gate to open, because apparently there was a ground stop at the airport. A ground stop, whenever there's too much lightning, they can't work outside, so they have to put everything on stops because for safety. So when we finally got to a gate, I started walking through the airport, and this is 11:30 at night at this point. There were flights delayed 4 to 6 hours still sitting in there trying to leave. It was wild. Wow. 2nd and 13 here. Zardovitz rolls right, stops, now has plenty of room to cut back the other side. Instead, he throws, and it's off the fingertips and incomplete. Cam Lewis couldn't bring it in. A little surprised Jason Zardovitz even threw that football, because he had acres of space in front of him if he wanted to run. 3rd and long coming up.
He was scrambling a little bit on that play, and you're right. He could have ran it if he wanted to. He threw a good ball.
He did. He threw a very catchable ball, but he probably had 7 or 8 yards in front of him easy without being touched if he wanted to scramble. Instead, it is 3rd and 13 here. Plenty of room for Zardovitz. Time. He now rolls out right, scrambling across the 45 to the 50, and he's got a first down into McNeil territory as McNeil loses contain. A gain of about 16 or 17 on the play. He got just enough.
Well, he opted to throw it on 2nd down. On 3rd down, Officer used his legs, showing off his speed there.
1st and 10, new set of downs after the 14-yard Zardovitz scramble. Quick snap, throw to the far sideline. Ball is caught on the screen and nowhere to go. Ball came out late. McNeil says they have it, and they do. The Mavericks come up with a fumble. Cam Lewis was the receiver catching it. I could not see who came up with the football. We're kind of at a low angle over here. But the Mavs get a turnover, and it's 1st and 10 McNeil.
I didn't see who came up with the football, but I know number 24, Cameron Green, he was first to the receiver, and he stripped it. And that's exactly what this defense needed. This is the 4th straight game, I think, where McNeil has had a turnover on defense.
So the Mavs get a fumble recovery. Interesting decision here. Jaden Schultz stays in at quarterback. We've seen him and Gerald Gary rotate all year long. First time that either one of them has gotten back-to-back series to start a game. Schultz rolls out to his right. He will throw. That is wide open, complete to Gerald Gary. And quarterback to quarterback, it's a 1st down. Gary pushed out of bounds at the 32, but not before he picks up 19 yards.
Gary had a lot of room to run in front of him. He kind of lost his footing a little bit, but it was a great route. It was a 15-yard curl route towards the sideline, and Schultz had plenty of time to get rid of it.
Schultz sends Bo Baker in motion here. 1st and 10 from the Manor 32. Drop straight back. They will throw to Baker on the inside screen, and it's incomplete, just a little bit low. Whew. And some late blocking downfield after the play. Big number 66, Roberto Reyes, was finishing the play and finishing the block no matter what there. 5:05 to go in the opening quarter. Manor 7, McNeil nothing, but the Mavericks try to tie it up here after getting a fumble recovery. 2nd and 10. Joshua Williams, the running back. They will delay on the draw to Williams, and he's able to just get back past the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up 2.
Now we're seeing Manor bringing the pressure on the last couple of plays.
3rd down, 8 to go now for the Mavericks. Haven't seen McNeil go under center tonight. They didn't do it much either last week after doing it a bunch in week 1.
You're right, they didn't.
Schultz calls for the snap on 3rd and 8. Drops straight back. Throws across the middle. He's got a man across the middle. That ball's caught. Dayron Calhoun down the sideline to the 5. He's into the end zone, tiptoeing his way. Did he stay in? No, they say he stepped out at the 5. It is 1st and goal, though, for McNeil after the 25-yard gain.
The defensive backs were playing around 7 yards off the ball, and that allowed Calhoun to come kind of run across the middle of the field, a little shallow drag route. And once Schultz put it on the money and he made his way to the sideline, showing off the speed there.
Dayron Calhoun nearly put one into the end zone there. Just could not stay in bounds with his momentum. But it is 1st and goal now for the Mavs. This is prime Joshua Williams territory. Williams, the running back, will take the handoff, and he falls forward. Really just could not get any momentum going. He's back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down.
About Calhoun converting on the 3rd down. He was one of 4 senior captains on the night, along with Keegan McBride, the offensive lineman Judson Cook, and Jarrett Black.
Well, here we see Gerald Gary at running back. We saw this once, I believe, last week, where he went into a 4-point stance, and they got under center. They'll hand it to him. Right up the middle he goes. He pushes forward. He is in. Touchdown, McNeil Mavericks. There is a flag down on the play. We'll see who it's against. Manor's pointing the other way here. And this is going to be walked back. Holding against McNeil right up the middle. Second down, Mavs will be backed up to the 15 now. Wipe the touchdown off the board.
That's a big 10 yards for McNeil, and we saw Jarrell Gary with the full steam ahead of him. He can bulldoze his way to get 5 or 6 yards.
4 receivers left, 1 to the right. Quick throw to the near side, back to Gary, trying to cut it back at the 8 before he's taken down. Eddie Robinson Shares a name with the great former coach of Grambling. Taking him down. 3rd and goal from the 8 coming up. The Hall of Famer head coach Eddie Robinson. I believe he still holds the all-time record for wins in NCAA. Although Bobby Bowden took it, so I think he's 2nd now. 3rd down and goal. Under center we go again. Soltz will drop up and throw. Quick slant inside, incomplete. That was intended for Zach Christie. It is 4th down, and the field goal unit comes on for McNeil.
With Zach Christie at number 12, Ronzo Woods, and one-on-one coverage there, and there were 2 routes that play was designed for, either a slant or a fade route to Christie. McNeil, the offensive coordinator Reynolds, opting for a slant, and we'll see. Look, I think it's Faulkner out there.
Yeah, it's Cole Faulkner kicking the field goal here from 26 yards. It is up. It's got plenty of leg, and it's good. And the Mavs are on the board. So the drive stalls at the 8, but the Mavericks do find points on a 26-yard field goal here from Cole Faulkner. Your new score, 7-3. Manor with the lead. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first quarter.
That was a great response by the Mavericks. We saw Jarrell Gary had 2 key receptions to move the ball downfield, and then Calhoun on that drag route on 3rd and long, Soltz to Calhoun. A combination we've become familiar with in this McNeil offense, getting into the goal line, and then the penalty, the holding call was a bummer for McNeil, but props to Faulkner going out there for the first field goal of the year and holding the ship steady and getting McNeil on the board.
7 plays, 43 yards, 2:07 off the clock. McNeil gets a fumble recovery and takes it down for a field goal. 7-3 your score. Manor still with the lead, but the Mavs on the board. McNeil did win the toss tonight and deferred until the second half, so something to keep in mind as we continue down this first quarter. 3:10 left to go in the opening frame. Faulkner to run up and kick it away. End over end kick fielded at the 11-yard line by Peyton Guyton. Looking for a hole to get through, nowhere to go. Shooting down the field to make the tackle was Brody Mansfield on special teams. Nice play by the young man, and that'll start these Manor Mustangs inside their own 25 around the 21-yard line. It is Petaway, the running back, and Jason Zardovitz, the quarterback. Back there, again, they are pretty much the keys to the offense here for this Manor team. The snap is fumbled. The ball is on the ground. McNeil recovers. Zardovitz did not know it was coming. He was looking the other way. And big number 55, Darren Powell, the senior, comes up with it in the red zone.
How about that? Darren Powell making another turnover on defense. He was involved in the scoop and score. I believe it was against Del Valle. And Manor, all of a sudden on offense, getting a little shaky. You had the fumble, and then now that untimed snap that Zardovitz didn't know was coming, and now the Mavericks are in business. And the Mavericks have a chance to go up here.
3:01 to go in the first quarter. McNeil gets great field position at the Manor 18-yard line. And this is one of those that you feel like you have to punch in if you're the Mavericks. 7-3, Manor with the lead. 8 seconds on the play clock. McNeil's got to hurry up here. They took a long time breaking the huddle on the sideline. We're down to 3 seconds. 1 second. And timeout is called just in the nick of time. 2:59, or excuse me, still should be 3:01 on the clock. They started running the game clock. They've got 2:59 up there now. 2:59 to go in the opening quarter. An entertaining opening quarter despite this being a 7-3 score. These two teams, McNeil has already recovered 2 fumbles. Their first drive was a 3-and-out. Their second one stalled at the 5. But we're able to get a field goal. Manor's score came on a 50-yard touchdown pass on the opening possession of the game. As the crowd continues to file in here, I believe tonight is homecoming for Manor as well. Saw the moms with the badges and everything that they wear.
been an explosive quarter, too. Pretty fast-paced, already down to 3 minutes.
1st and 10 for the Mavericks. Gary in at quarterback now for the first time tonight. Gerald Gary dropped back to throw. Man coming. Jump pass, and it was incomplete, just a little bit short for Joshua Gayden. If he could have set his feet, he would have had a touchdown pass, but number 32, Trevin Kanda, was in on the rush, untouched, and able to disrupt the play.
You said it, number 32 was, I mean, he was right there. I couldn't tell you if the jump pass was in the play or Gary's just being an athlete, but I mean, it was Tebow-esque. It nearly worked out.
2nd down, 10 to go. Joshua Williams in at running back now with Gary. Gary fakes the handoff, throws over the middle, right back to it. It's a touchdown for the McNeil Mavericks. Nicholas Vols comes up with the grab from 18 yards out, but there's a flag down. We will wait on the call. Ineligible man downfield against McNeil, and for the second time in this first quarter, 6 points are wiped off the board thanks to a flag.
Second time in this quarter, it's the second time in a few minutes, real time, that's happened, and just an unfortunate break for McNeil. But Vols found an open space up the seam. He got behind the linebacker, and the play was there. The read by Gary to keep the ball, had the linebacker he bit.
Well, we're now at 2nd and 15 from the 23. Handoff to Williams. Stutter steps in the backfield and just nowhere to go. Manor is selling out to stop the run right now. Here comes 3rd down. Again, number 32, Trevin Kanda in to make the stop. 3rd and 16. McNeil needs the 8-yard line for a fresh set of downs. We have seen Cole Faulkner kick tonight. He's not been the kicker all year for McNeil, but his field goal probably would have been good from 35 or so. Gary to throw, drops back, got time, and he'll throw it to Bo Baker. It's incomplete. Thrown just a bit high and behind Baker. And here comes 4th and 10, or 4th and 16 rather, and McNeil might consider going for this. This might be on the edge of Faulkner's range. A field goal from here is 40 yards. And in fact, they do look like they're going. Hayden Taylor subs on. 4th down, 16 to go from the 23. Snap to Gary. Throws it towards the sideline. It is incomplete. Well defended over there by Elijah Prosser. Intended on the far side for Dayron Calhoun, and a turnover on downs. But that's a situation. We talked about it early in the quarter. Not having Bryce Wilson tonight maybe takes points off the board, because I think if Bryce Wilson's available this evening, McNeil tries that 40-yard field goal without thinking about it.
And we saw Bryce Wilson kick it. It was around 40 yards, and he made it pretty comfortably. They were kind of playing zone, and the defensive backs were playing right behind the chains. It's good alignment by the Manor defense.
This is already Manor's 4th possession of the ball game. They have fumbled the ball on their last 2 touches, last 2 plays. 2 minutes, 3 seconds to go, opening quarter. 7-3, Manor leads McNeil. Man in motion towards the near sideline. Peyton Guyton, they'll throw it to him. That ball might have been thrown backwards. It falls and rolls out of bounds, and I do believe they're going to say that was a backwards pass. The line judge on the far side by the McNeil coaching staff on the main sideline was walking back just a bit. Like he was standing over there saying that went backwards. But they mark it as an incomplete pass. Okay. We saw that last week go against McNeil.
Very similar plays.
2nd and 10, handoff near side, nowhere to go for Titus Petaway, as he is gang tackled by that McNeil Maverick defense. Several folks in on the tackle initially. Caden Patty in there, as well as Tony Shannon.
Caden Patty and Tony Shannon are coming off great games last week too. Patty had 9 tackles. Shannon had 8 solo tackles, 11 total.
3rd down and 13 now. Empty backfield for Zardovic. He'll step up. Now tries to scramble to his left. Squares his shoulders, being chased out of there. Nowhere to go. He steps out but shy of the 30, and he is well short of a 1st down. Good job by the McNeil defense.
A good job of them not giving up on the play. I saw Darren Powell, number 55. Zardovic didn't know it, but he had a big man charging behind him.
It seems like both of these defenses are kind of settling in and saying, we're just not going to let the running backs beat us tonight. If you want to beat us, you've got to throw the football. Not letting Joshua Williams or Titus Petaway get going. Well, a punt due here for Manor. That's number 12, Ronzel Woods, kicking it away. It is a short kick that'll bounce at around the 45. McNeil has to get away from this football, and they pick it up and fall forward at the 44. A little odd there. They just let that one bounce, and instead of just calling fire, getting away, and taking away the risk of it touching you and going possession for Manor.
It was Keegan McBride who ended up picking up the ball, and I guess he wanted a couple extra yards there.
Dangerous play, but McNeil gets away with it. Ball on the 44-yard line. The Mavs have had great field position. Their last 3 drives have started at the 49, the Manor 18, and now the 44. Jaden Soltz back in at quarterback, split backs in the backfield. Soltz hands it off. Nope, keeps it up the middle. Now breaks over to the right. He's got room to run. He's into Manor territory at the 35. Down the sideline, lowers his shoulder, and he'll be pushed out of bounds near the 20. But a great run there on the keeper and read from Jaden Soltz. 36 yards on the gain.
That was great blocking by the right side of the line, and Soltz, he's outrunning a few of the Mustang defense.
If you can't get the running backs going, maybe open up some room with the quarterback on the scramble. Soltz rolls left, looking to throw. He will throw it incomplete, just out of the reach of Joshua Gated. 2nd down coming up from the 20 for the McNeil Mavericks.
And that was great vision by Soltz on the previous run, too. He hesitated a little bit, and then he saw the hole open up on the right side, and he took off scrambling.
Second down, 10 to go. 3 receivers bunched up to the left, 1 to the right here for McNeil. Quick little hitch throw to the near side. Gary in one-on-one coverage. He will stiff arm a defender, drags him with him, falls forward, and he is in. Touchdown, McNeil Mavericks. Gerald Gary with an unbelievable one-on-one effort, diving for the end zone with a man dragging him down behind him.
Gerald Gary, Mr. Superman on that play, gets the ball in open space. He had one guy to beat, and talk about a competitor. He saw him the whole way, and he wasn't going to be denied. What a stiff arm, Brad. I mean,
the stiff arm, the stretch out with a man holding him back as the extra point from Faulkner is up and good. And with 50 seconds to go in the opening quarter, McNeil has a 10-7 lead. But my goodness, you won't see much better effort on a one-on-one play than you just saw out of Gerald Gary. That's a sophomore that just did that.
I said Superman, but Super Gary. He was Super Gary on that play.
That'll be a 3-play drive. It took just 22 seconds off the clock and went 56 yards. The long run on the first play of the drive from the quarterback, Jaden Soltz, and then Gerald Gary on a 20-yard catch and run. It's 10-7 now in favor of McNeil as they have their first lead of the night.
Gary, as far as receiving goes, he's picking up where he left off last game. He averaged 12 yards of reception last game, 75 yards total.
Yeah, Gary, his offensive stats are starting to climb here throughout the year. That is his 2nd receiving touchdown of the season. He also has 1 rushing. He also has, I think he's got 1 throw. He's got 2 throwing as well. For Soltz, that is TD pass number 3. Faulkner with the short kickoff towards the sideline. Ball is caught at the 25 by Cam Lewis. He breaks a tackle, makes a couple of men miss, trying to stretch it to the opposite side of the field. He's got room across midfield and well into McNeil territory before he's finally forced out of bounds at around the 44-yard line. So a great return from Cam Lewis.
Lewis just kind of let his blocks develop and slowly started running outside to the right and found a lot of open area. It's a potentially touchdown-saving hit by Cole Faulkner. He hit him pretty hard.
So Manor gets fantastic field position. Their first time tonight, they have started anywhere that hasn't been inside their own 30. Previously, their best starting field position was the 28 tonight. They get it at the McNeil 44 to start this drive with 40 seconds left in the opening quarter. Opening quarter's taking quite a while to play. McNeil wants a flag. Manor calls a timeout. So this quarter will go on just a bit longer. 10-7 your score. The Mavericks on top of Manor here on homecoming for the Manor Mustangs tonight. Just outside of Austin. Not too far from where the old Manor Downs horse track used to stand. Manor High School, it's a pretty new facility right behind us. This whole area where they've built the high school's relatively newly built. The basketball arena is a gem. If you ever get a shot to see a basketball game here, like it's better than some Division II, Division III, and NAIA schools that I have called basketball at. As far as an arena goes. Of course, the facilities here at the football stadium are pretty nice too. Brisket sandwich pregame was real good.
That Texan barbecue flavor, that Manor flavor.
Ike had a little brisket with his sauce on the plate. First and 10, high snap. It's handled and handed off up the middle. Delay handoff to Titus Petway, and Petway has plenty of room to run, still on his feet before he's dragged down around the 31-yard line. A gain of 13 on the play, and the first time he's really gotten loose tonight.
Titus letting his presence be known on the play. Defenders were just bouncing off of him.
First and 10, ball at the McNeil 31-yard line. Manor taking their time getting the play in. I think they're just going to wait for the clock to expire here and flip ends and go to the second quarter. That's what we're doing. Well, after 12 minutes of play, we've got a pretty fun one on our hands here. McNeil 10, Manor 7. Back with the second quarter in just a minute. This is Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility, and with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. CovertFord.com.
Brad Tillery, Ike Kohler here with you. 10-7, McNeil on top of Manor as we begin quarter number 2 here from Manor High School on the iHSFAN network. Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford tonight for you. First and 10, Manor, ball at the 31-yard line of McNeil. Handoff to Titus Petaway. He'll find his way down to the 25 before being taken down by several McNeil Mavericks. Aiden Taylor, Cole Haga, Keegan McBride all in on the tackle. McNeil's done a good job of holding Petaway in check tonight. Petaway's coming into the evening averaging 250 yards per game. The touchdown for Manor, a 50-yard touchdown bomb on their opening drive rather. There's a handoff. Petaway stiff arms one man out to the left, stays on his feet toward the sideline to the 10, to the 5. He's into the end zone. Just as we say, McNeil had been doing a really good job of holding them back. Petaway gets going. It's a 25-yard scamper, and the Manor Mustangs are back on top.
On this drive, the the difference in Petaway running the ball on this drive and previous drives is we saw him be very effective running outside of the tackles. Once the right side of the line set the edge, he was good to go, and we saw him showcase his speed.
Petaway's 12th rushing touchdown of the year. Low snap on the extra point. It is well done by the holder there, number 19. Javon Pierre-Paul really saved the extra point on a bad snap, and it was good. Kick was put through, I believe, by Victor Villalba, and your score, 14-10 in favor of Manor with 11:18 to go in the first half.
Manor had their best starting field position of the night, and they sure did take advantage, scoring pretty quickly.
We thought this could be a close win back and forth. We think, honestly, the district's going to be like this all year long. This, from what we have seen, feels like a pretty evenly matched district, which makes for fun Friday nights. Long way to go here, 14-10, Manor with the lead. McNeil getting the ball back. Just underway in the second quarter here. Villalba to run it up and kick it away. McNeil's deep guys at the 15-yard line. Villalba doesn't have the biggest leg. End over end. It will be fielded by Joshua Gaden. Gaden gets ahead of steam across the 30. He slides down forward. I don't know if he just lost a footing or lost a step there. He was trying to cut back to the hole, and instead he's down at the 30-yard line. Might have had a hole to go through if he could have kept his footing there.
I think so too.
Well, this will be McNeil's worst field starting position tonight. Their last three drives had started at the 49, the Manor 18, and their own 44. Second time as well that McNeil has been slow coming out of the huddle after a kickoff. Play clock winds. Jaden Schultz leads the Mavericks back out at quarterback. Split back to the backfield with him. There's Williams and Gaden. Gaden in motion. And they will throw it to him towards the near sideline. That ball caught on a little bubble screen. He picks up a quick 5.
Interesting use of Joshua Gaden on offense, just kind of using him as a bubble screen and letting him work upfield. He had Zach Christie to block, but the cornerbacks did a good job of getting to Gaden fast.
Well, he's an explosive player. We've seen on some returns, some runs from him. He'll hit that hole hard and go. So it makes sense to try to give him the ball in space. Here's a handoff to Gaden. Cuts back over the right side, spins forward through a tackle, and he falls to the 40, and that's enough for a first down. McNeil doing some interesting things, trying to get this run game going. We mentioned Petaway on the previous drive for Manor started going outside. McNeil beginning to stretch outside the tackles a bit and going to Joshua Gaden, who maybe has a step faster speed. Joshua Williams likes to run between the tackles a bit more. There's Williams through the middle, and he'll pick up 5. So this run game for the Mavs beginning to get some steam going. 3 straight plays of 5-yard gains. I'll tell you, if they could do it all the way down the field, Coach Scott Hermes will take it right now.
And the more they can get this run game going, it can open up the RPO game.
Quick throw, bubble screen near our far side, ball caught. And on the little slip screen inside, enough for a first down. Guess how many yards they picked up again? 5 for Gerald Gary, number 5. That makes 4 straight plays of 5-yard gains, 20 yards gained overall, couple of first downs. The Mavs are at midfield. Makes the math easy at least, because the ball is also right on like the main markers every 5. It's not
on the 50 yard
Yeah,
line.
the 50, the 45, the 40. It makes my life a lot easier. I don't have to do math. There's a handoff to Williams. He's hitting the backfield this time and nowhere to go. He's able to just get back to the line of scrimmage. First play with no positive yards here for McNeil on this drive. Already the 6th play of the drive coming up, 2nd and 10. Jaden Soltz, the sophomore quarterback, looks over the defense, calls the snap. Drops straight back, will throw. He's got a man open. It is caught, still on his feet to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown, McNeil Mavericks. Dayron Calhoun hauls it in from 50 yards.
Soltz with a deep strike to Calhoun. Calhoun was lined up in the slot, and he ran a kind of a deep post and ran in between the hashes, and Soltz with the strike, he threw it in the basket, and Calhoun getting McNeil on the board. They responded with a deep shot of their own. And how about that for the Mavericks?
Soltz with his 2nd TD pass of the night. The extra point is good, and McNeil regains the lead. Back and forth we go. 8:31 to go in the first half. 17-10, Mavericks on top. The answer you wanted if you were a McNeil coaching staff there.
The deep stripe to Calhoun, and he almost scored on the first drive too. He was out of bounds at the 5. But Calhoun is certainly making an impact early here.
6 plays, 70 yards, 2:33 off the clock. Soltz with his 2nd touchdown pass of the night. This one to Dayron Calhoun, 17-14. McNeil with the lead. We might be in for a track meet tonight. We thought we might see a pretty high-scoring game. And first quarter, that a little slow, 7-3 for a long time, but the offense is really getting moving now. Here's Cole Faulkner to kick it away again for the Mavs. Faulkner puts the boot to it. High end over end kick, fair catch called for by Peyton Guyton and made at the 7-yard line.
It's turned into a pretty sizable crowd for Manor tonight. Fans have just been slowly trickling in.
Yeah, a bit of a late arriving crowd. Some good travel from the McNeil side on the far side as well. You can see as far as the rolling hills of Texas will let you see. Out beyond that far bench and sideline over there.
It's pretty out here once you get a mile away from the stadium, some back roads.
I've been known to play some golf around this area. Petaway, they fake the handoff to him and said it's a pump fake from Zardovitz. Now pulls it down, throws towards the sideline. It is complete to Rashad Gary. And Gary picks up about 5 on the play, but the flag is down. I think that pump fake may have meant some guys got downfield and the lineman got a little too far downfield there. And that is the call, an eligible man downfield. So the 5-yard gain's wiped off the board. Ball spotted back to the 20, 1st and 15 now.
It was a great pump fake. I mean, he got a couple of the defensive linemen to jump, but he fooled his offensive lineman too.
Jason Zardovitz, the senior quarterback, hands that one off. Petaway takes it, puts his hand on his blocker in front of him, follows him forward, and churns his legs to the 28 for a gain of 8. Stick around for the halftime show. We'll catch you up with scores from around the area. No crowd mic tonight, as I'm sure you figured out by now, so we can't let you hear the bands, but good angle to watch them. 2nd and 7 here. Manor with the football. Again, a handoff to Petaway. Stutter steps, and he is cut down at the 30. Good tackle. Immediately made by, I believe that was Bobby Holland. Excuse me, is that Bobby Holland or Jarrett Black that made the tackle?
I think it was Bobby who came in there, number 42.
3rd and 5 now. He did a really good job, Holland did, of holding his space there and forcing Petaway to go back inside before making the tackle. 3rd and 5, McNeil bringing heat right up the middle. It's a quick throw to Petaway out of the backfield. He catches it behind the sticks, but is able to fall forward and pick up 9 on the play, and there's a first down. Little emergency throw from Zardovitz. The blitz was coming right up the middle to his face, and he finds his outlet in Petaway for a gain of 9.
It was either Bobby Holland or I think it may have been 43 Jarrett Black, but he came screaming up the right side of the line, and good job of Zardovitz getting rid of it.
I mean, he shot right through the A-gap. Halfway through the second quarter, 17-14. McNeil leads Manor. But Manor with the football, 1st and 10. Looks to throw to the near side to Zardovitz. A pump and go down the sideline, and it is incomplete. Intended for Peyton Guyton, but well played by Cameron Green, who almost was able to get his hands out there and pick that one off. He was in a much better position to catch that than the receiver as they tried the old out and up.
Green looked like a receiver going after that ball. It hit his hands.
2nd and 10. Trips right for Zardovitz, but they'll hand it to Petaway over the left side. He's got room, and he falls out, or he works his way rather to the 48-yard line. That's a gain of 8, and it brings up 3rd and 2. Actually, 3rd and 1. Manor not in a rush here. He's kind of grinding away with Titus Petaway. They'll hand it, or fake the handoff. Throw over the middle on the quick slant. It's caught. There's a first down. Cam Lewis with the reception and the gain of 14.
Cam Lewis ran a great route, a slant towards the middle of the field, and with the play action to Petaway, I mean, they had given him the ball the last 3 plays, so of course it left Lewis open. Great play by the Mustangs.
That play call tells me they might have gone for it on 4th and 1 there no matter what. High snap, brought down by Zardovitz, kind of a broken play. He's still able to get out of his hands, and he throws a dart to Lewis on the far sideline. That'll be a pickup of about 4 or 5, and really just a good play by Jason Zardovitz to make something out of nothing. Picks up about 3 on the play. Second and 7. Actually, 2nd and 6. Zardovitz changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Quick bubble screen near sideline. It is caught by Rayshad Gray, who is brought down at the 30. Bobby Holland able to make the tackle and force the 3rd down.
That was a big-time tackle by Bobby Holland. You know, he got him by the ankles, but the receiver had a lot of space to run.
9th play of the drive, the third down. First 2 have been converted. It is 3rd and 3 here. I imagine it's 4-down territory for Manor. Zardovitz, the quarterback, calls for it. Hands it to Petaway. No, he kept it actually around the right side. He dives forward, and he's got a first down at the 24. Well, that was a nice little keep fake by Zardovitz because I didn't see it.
He fooled me for a little bit, too. That was a great read, and you saw him dive for the first down. He's a great competitor. He missed his entire junior season due to a leg injury, and now he's back and got this Manor Mustangs offense going this year.
1st and 10. Fakes the screen, now throws it, and it's high. It's intercepted by McNeil. Keegan McBride goes up for it, still has it in his hands. He's pulled down from behind, but the Mavericks get a turnover in the red zone. It was sailed over the head of Cam Lewis, and McBride scaled up the ladder and pulled it down. 3rd turnover of the game that the Mavericks defense has forced.
The ball from Zardovitz was just a little bit overthrown, and McBride, he got up, and it's a great catch. Zardovitz had Peyton Guyton open the flats, and he saw him. He wanted to take a shot towards the end zone. He just overthrew it a little bit.
Mavs get the ball with 3:51 to go here in the first half and a chance to put some points on the board. First play is tipped and incomplete. Gary was looking for Joshua Williams.
It's an interesting look coming out. We're seeing Gary in the shotgun all alone in the backfield.
Yeah, he was thinking maybe a draw play or something you'd see there with his speed and athleticism. Instead, they tried a little quick hitter. Second down. Fake handoff. There's Gary keeping up the middle. On the read option, he's able to get just to the line of scrimmage and no more. 3rd and 10 now, and the last thing McNeil wants to do after a long drive was halted is give it right back to Manor. Even if you don't get points here, just kill a couple of minutes and get the defense a break. Remember, McNeil gets the ball coming out of the locker room in the second half. Gary looks to throw, clutches it, now rolls out to his right trying to escape and just has nowhere to go. He'll lose a yard, and that's going to be 3 and out for the Mavs. Second 3 and out of the night for McNeil. They're only able to take about a minute off the clock here as Manor called timeout after that last play.
The drive was kind of stalled from the beginning for the Mavericks. Just not really able to get anything going.
17-14, McNeil leads Manor. 2:56 left in the first half. McNeil touchdowns on a couple of passes out of the hands of Jaden Soltz. One of them, though, was really... Soltz kind of threw a little quick screen to Gerald Gary, and Gary on a one-on-one play did all the work. Stiff-arming a defender and then dragging him into the end zone for the final 5 yards with him for the touchdown. And then Soltz found Dayron Calhoun on a 50-yard strike, catch and run. That's where we stand on the 2 touchdowns for the Mavericks. Back and forth game. Each team has had the lead a couple of times tonight. There's the snap. The punt is away from Cole Faulkner. It will bounce and take a huge Maverick bounce. That ball's going to roll nearly 20 yards down to the Manor 41. Big time punt there. A flag down in the backfield at the line of scrimmage.
Manor was bringing the pressure. The two of them almost blocked it.
Here's the thing. If it's offside, you might just take the punt and see if they can add the 5 yards in the back end, because you got that great 20-yard roll. Put the ball at the 36-yard line and at least make Manor go after it. They wave the flag off, and so Manor will get the ball, but the fantastic punt there from Cole Faulkner will stay on the board. So ball's at the Manor 41 to start this drive. 2:45 to go here in the second quarter. Neither team able to get much separation from the other tonight. Remember, this McNeil team played 5 different one-score ball games. 4 of them in district play last year. Fake handoff. They will throw it behind the line of scrimmage. It's a double pass down the right sideline and just out of the reach of Cam Lewis. Peyton Guyton put a nice ball out there on the double pass and maybe threw it about a half a yard too far. So, incomplete.
If you're a coach, I mean, that was a great pass by Guyton. You can't really ask for a better ball, giving your receiver a shot to, run out there and go get it.
I mean, they threw that one out there well. That's the first pass all year not thrown by Jason Zardovitz, by the way, for this Manor offense. Second down. Handoff. And it's blown dead. Movement at the line of scrimmage. Titus Petaway had room to run. be a false start against the Manor Mustangs. Backs him up to the 36, brings up 2nd and 15. 2:36 left in this opening half. Zardovitz the quarterback. McNeil shifting right at the snap. Blitz coming. Zardovitz able to get rid of it late, but the defense swarming out there to the receiver. Several players making the tackle. And it was Jaden Wellmaker, Darren Powell out there combining on a stop, and it's 3rd and long now.
And now all of a sudden McNeil still has 3 timeouts left. A chance to get the ball back with decent field position. They have Manor back behind the sticks.
3rd and 16 here. Manor will hold up play. 2 minutes to go. You mentioned it. McNeil's got all 3 timeouts. If they can get off the field, a chance to get some points. Let's see how Manor plays it. Zardovitz drops straight back. All day in the world to throw. Down the middle, it's incomplete. He overshot his receiver, Peyton Guyton, and it's 4th down. Punt time here for Manor. Both teams go 3 and out on their last drive.
Peyton Guyton was running right up the scene, and the ball was just overthrown. And the incompletion, too, stops the clock, so McNeil doesn't have to use one of their timeouts.
That's a good point, Ike. So the Mavericks with 3 timeouts to work with. This punt return on the way. I believe Ronzel Woods is punting this again for Manor. He is. It is a high snap. It is off of his hands, and I believe McNeil called timeout. They did. McNeil saw something they didn't like, and so they called timeout right before the snap. 1:44 remains on the clock. You wonder if maybe they're thinking they're going to go after this. Maybe the coaches saw something with the way that Manor lined up. Try to go after this, get a block, and maybe get some great field position to get some points before the half. This is a swing possession, Ike. You can get a touchdown here, maybe go up in the locker room, 10 points, and come out of the locker room with a football. That's a chance to really open up a gap in this game.
Open up a gap and gain a lot of momentum, not on your home field.
McNeil playing a much cleaner football game than last week. I mentioned in the pregame show with Coach Hermes, the turnovers last week were really the difference in the game. And tonight, the difference in the game as well, but it's because Manor is the one creating turnovers. 3 turnovers already in this first half for the Mustangs.
Only one penalty for the Mavericks, too.
Snap is back. They do come after it. The punter keeps it. It is blocked. It is blocked. It is brought down by Darren Powell, and he will fumble the football. Is it re-recovered? No. McNeil will have it at the 25. McNeil able to fall on the fumble after Powell brought it down on the block. Ronzel Woods rolled out to his right, trying to escape the pressure up the middle, punted it, and it was the Mavs able to get their hands on it. And here's McNeil with great field position.
Now McNeil has a chance to go score and then go get the ball back at the end of to start the second half. It was number 1, Ian Nueves, the senior, who blocked the punt. The punter held on to the ball for a half second too long.
Ball's at the Manor 26 for the Mavs. And now if you're McNeil, you do not have to go fast here. Short field, 1:36, plenty of time on the clock. Soltz back in at quarterback. Hands it off to Gaden over the left side, and he'll be pulled down from behind for a loss, or for a gain of about 1.
And the way Soltz has been throwing the ball, you're right, they really don't have to go all that fast. They still have they have 2 timeouts.
I think the key now is try to find points, but also don't let Manor get the ball back. Split backs in the backfield. Handoff. It's a reverse. Back to the near side. Dayron Calhoun with room to run across the 20 to the 15. Still on his feet. 10 down the sideline and pushed out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. Dayron Calhoun on the reverse. Able to pick up 21 yards. It's first and goal for McNeil.
Calhoun with another impactful play in the red zone. This is the first time we've seen the reverse all season. We saw a trick play from Manor early. Mavericks with one of their own.
Mavs go under center now. Williams in the backfield. Joshua Williams, handoff right up the middle. Pushing his way forward, and he's pulled down at the 4. Clock continues to roll. 50 seconds left in this first half. Second and goal. Amazing opportunity here for McNeil to take a double-digit lead to the locker room. Stretch play to the right. Williams cuts back inside. As turns his legs, and he is turned away at the 4. Timeout now, McNeil. It'll be third and goal coming up.
After the trick play, McNeil's defensive line is making a stand so far.
A little surprised. I think McNeil called that timeout there. They didn't let the clock run down a little bit, maybe to 10 seconds. There's still 2 plays to get off and kill a little more clock before calling that timeout and making sure Manor doesn't get this football back even with 15, 20 seconds to go.
That's a good point. We saw Cam Lewis on the kickoff return earlier in the game.
Yeah. Third down and 4. 17-14, the Mavericks with the lead over Manor and looking to tack on to it just before we go to the locker room. I say third and 4. It is third and goal from the 4. McNeil goes under center again. Jaden Schultz takes it. Pops up, he'll throw a fade to the far sideline, to the far corner rather. It's incomplete, but a flag comes down. Flag comes down in the end zone. The fade route to Zach Christie. And he was basically being tackled while that ball was in the air. Pretty easy call, and that'll advance the ball to the 2. First and goal now for McNeil.
This is Christie's second goal line target of the night. He ran the slant earlier on another drive, and now they're going with the fade.
Well, and that's evidence of being effective even without getting to the stat sheet, right? He forced a flag to come out, and what would have been fourth and goal is now first and goal again. 24 seconds on the clock, and a chance for McNeil to continue to add to this lead. Gary in at running back now in a 4-point stance. Hand off to him right up the middle with a full head of steam. Did he get in? He did not. He is down at the 1.5. Timeout called. Oh, no timeout yet. 13 seconds. Clock is running. 10 seconds. Again, a handoff to Gary. This time he will dive for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown, McNeil Mavericks. Gerald Gary with his second score of the night. This one on the ground, and the Mavs have extended the lead just before the half.
That's a huge touchdown by Gerald Gary. On the previous play, he was upended up the middle, and this time just a little sidestep and a shimmy outside and made his way into the end zone. And now the Mavericks, pending the extra point, will go up double digits here on the road.
Cole Faulkner with the extra point. It is good, and McNeil has extended the lead 24-14 with 3 seconds to go in this first half.
And talk about clock management. Perfect. They scored with 3 seconds left. They had 2 timeouts left, but they opted to hurry up and kind of, I think they caught the Manor defense off guard. They were scrambling a little bit.
Yeah, not calling the timeout, letting Manor set, really. Just get on the ball and go. Gary with a full head of steam, and it took a while from that first and goal from the 5. Once they got first and goal from the 5, it took McNeil 4 plays before they could finally punch that one in. However, the big play on the drive, the reverse to Dayron Calhoun, and McNeil able to take advantage of the block punt, put a touchdown on the board, and will most likely take a 2-score lead into the half. And remember, as we said already, they get the ball coming out for the second half.
And McNeil also choosing not to call that timeout. It's going all in, putting all the chips on the table. You're either scoring a touchdown or you're not scoring at all. It's a zero-sum game.
Yeah, I think they still had the one timeout. They could have called it if he got tackled with 3 seconds to go. Probably could have kicked a field goal, right? But
Right.
I think your first thought was the right one, which is keeping the defense a little off guard by getting on the ball and snapping quickly. They were able to find the end zone there. Cole Faulkner to kick it away. Let's see how they decide to attack this one. Little squib kick. McNeil doing the covering. It is L.J. Carter with the football. He's got room down this near sideline. Blockers in front of him, and he will be still on his feet and finally stopped at the 40-yard line of the McNeil Mavericks, and that is how this first half will come to an end. A really, really nice half for the visiting Mavericks. They take a 10-point lead to the locker room. 24-14 your score. Back in just a minute with the halftime show. We'll update you with scores from around the area and let you watch these great bands go at it. 24-14, the Mavs lead it. This is Round Rock ISD football on the iHSFAN network, presented by Covert Ford.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility. And with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. CovertFord.com.
Bush's Chicken is a proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs, with stores in Cedar Park, Round Rock, Georgetown, both North and South Austin, and our newest store serving Pflugerville and Hutto. Bush's serves the Texas standard in real hand-battered fried chicken and crispy tenders, tasty rolls, and that famous Bush's sweet tea. Bush's Chicken, proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. The Texas standard. Bush's Chicken. It's good, good, good.
Longtime McNeil parent Brian Kerman is a realtor who works for RE/MAX Capital City. Brian is involved in helping Round Rock families buy, sell, invest, and lease properties in the greater Austin area. He has been doing so for over 24 years. As a thank you to the community, he will be honored to donate $1,000 to your favorite booster club or other 501c3 if you use him and you close on a property. We hope you will contact Brian for all of your real estate needs at 512-921-4490 or at briankerman@remax.net.
If you're looking for a special medical spa to bring out the beauty that's in you, come visit us at Ginger Allure Med Spa. At Ginger Allure, we treat our staff and patients like family. We're here to embrace, enhance, and showcase your natural beauty with a full range of services such as injectables, laser treatments, permanent makeup, microblading, and more. We provide free consultations for all of our services to answer any of your questions. Visit us online at gingerallure.com or give us a call at 512-709-0161. Ginger Allure Med Spa, the classic approach to a new you.
Are you looking for a little something extra to get your business noticed? At Ideal Signs, they specialize in custom signage and large format digital printing in a variety of media. Their in-house design department can work with you to create custom artwork to your specifications. They'll work with you to conceptualize, design, and produce any custom projects or idea that you might have. Call 512-930-7446 or visit signsforsports.com. Ideal Signs, family owned and operated since 1969.
The Lodge Poker Club is a members-only card club offering a wide range of daily and tournament gameplay. In Round Rock, just off exit 251 on I-35, the Lodge now boasts the largest card room in Texas with 82 tables, comfortable chairs, and 40 75-inch TVs. The Lodge provides fully trained dealers and on-site security with state-of-the-art camera system to ensure the comfort and safety of our members. Open 24 hours a day. More information at thelodgepokerclub.com or call us at 512-614-4045.
Visit Maze Street Boutique in Round Rock for all your shopping needs. Whether you're looking for a special gift or that perfect outfit that everyone will love, we have you covered. Come visit us in-store or shop us online at mazestreet.com. We appreciate your business and thank you for shopping local. RJAC Pressure Washing, Epoxy and Stain, veteran owned and operated, serving Central Texas. For the last 10 years, residential and commercial services available, here for all your decorative flooring needs. Call us at 512-593-8567. That's 512-593-8567.
Halftime at Manor High School, where the McNeil Mavericks lead the Manor Mustangs 24-14. Brad Tillery, Ike Kohler here in the booth with you as the McNeil High School band does its thing down on the field right now. Let's catch you up on everything that happened in an eventful first half. The Manor Mustangs took the opening drive of the game, I did the math wrong there because, well, I'm not very good at math sometimes. 72 yards on the drive. 7 plays, 72 yards. It was capped off by a 50-yard touchdown bomb from the quarterback Jason Zarnovitz to Cam Ellis. 7-0 your score. Manor with the lead. McNeil would go 3-and-out on their first drive, but then force a fumble from Manor. McNeil takes over at the 49-yard line. They were able to drive deep into Manor territory all the way down to the 5 before having settled for a 26-yard field goal from Cole Faulkner. 7-3 your score at that point. Manor still with the lead. Very next play on offense for Manor, they took over at their own 21. They fumbled the football. Darren Powell with the recovery there on a bad snap. He jumped on the football. McNeil, though, could not take advantage. Turnover on downs after going 4-and-out. They would force Manor to go 3-and-out on the next drive, and then McNeil finally got it going. Towards the end of the first half, they would take over in a 3-play drive that took 56 yards, just 22 seconds off the clock, capped off by an unbelievable individual effort from Gerald Gary on a 20-yard catch and run. He caught a little bubble screen to the near side. It was one-on-one with him and a defender. He stiff-armed the defender. The defender then got his arms around him around the 5-yard line. Gary dragged him with him, and then Superman dove into the end zone with the defender, holding him by the thighs, still able to get in there for a touchdown, and it was 10-7 in favor of the Mavs, their first lead of the night. Manor, though, answered right back, a 3-play drive of their own. They got a short field to work with, and they took it 44 yards in 3 plays. A great running back, Titus Petaway, with a 25-yard touchdown run, 14-10. Manor back on top at that point. McNeil, though, would not stay down long. Very next drive, at the start of the second quarter, they would go 70 yards on 6 plays, and a 50-yard touchdown strike from Jaden Soltz to Dayron Calhoun would make it 17-14 in favor of the Mavs. Manor, with a nice drive of their own, the very next possession, took about 4+ minutes off the clock. They got all the way down to the McNeil 24, but then through an interception, Keegan McBride able to climb the ladder, bring one down, and that was the 3rd turnover of the first half already for Manor. Killed the drive. McNeil couldn't do anything with that one. After taking over, they would punt. Manor would go 3-and-out. Have the punt blocked by McNeil, so McNeil gets great field position with 1:44 to go in the half at the Manor 25. A reverse to Dayron Calhoun takes it down to the 5-yard line. Took a few plays and a pass interference call in the end zone, but finally, Gerald Gary on a 2-yard run with 3 seconds to go in the first half, able to punch one in, his second score of the night, and the Mavericks have a 24-14 lead over the Manor Mustangs as the Mavs look for their first win in district play since the 2021 season, Ike.
Right now, the Mavs are in the driver's seat, and we mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, but Manor won last year's game 45-14. It really wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And this McNeil team they had a lot of returners from that team, a lot of seniors, and all the experience is showing. And it's been a very clean first half from sophomore quarterback Jalen Schultz. He had 4 interceptions last week. This week, 0. He's played a very clean game. He's made great plays with his legs. And Jarrell Gary as well, making plays at receiver. He had 2 touchdowns. And, this McNeil defense forced 3 turnovers and special teams. Special teams has been a great unit all year for the Mavericks and made another impact today with the block punt, setting up the score, and McNeil will get the ball to start off the second half.
Yeah, we talked about it. That's the key, really, now. That late touchdown to punch it in after the block punt, and now McNeil gets the football back coming out of the locker room, leading by 10 right now, and a chance to really take control of this football game early in the second half when we come back from the break. Let's take you around the scoreboard from around the area right now. Last night, Lampasas beat Connolly 36-28. Lake Travis shut out Aikens 37-0. Lassa over Austin Eastside 47-0 last night. McCallum beat Crockett 37-22, and Travis beat Navarro 31-14. At the half this evening, Belton leads San Angelo Central 27-10. Also at the half, Pflugerville 27, Bastrop 14. Halftime at I believe this is being played at the Kelly Reed Athletic Complex, 31-0. Vandergrift leads Stony Point. Round Rock and Westwood all tied up at 7 at the half. Itasca Wampus, I've never heard their name, and that's amazing. The Itasca Wampus Cats, 21. The Bartlett Bulldogs, 0. And I need to find an Itasca Wampus Cats t-shirt tomorrow.
But they make pretty good t-shirts, huh?
The Granger Lions 27, the Goldthwaite Eagles 0. San Antonio Davenport a 35-24 lead over Lockhart. A shocker here to me, Liberty Hill, a team that can play some offense, being shut out at the half by Rouse in Liberty Hill. 14-0 your score right now up at Liberty Hill. Remember, Liberty Hill just 2 weeks ago scored 82 without the benefit of a passing yard. Elgin beating Bastrop 29-0. McNeil 24. Of course, Manor 14. Looking at that one right here as you're watching the game. Vista Ridge 14. Cedar Ridge 7 there at the break. Odessa Permian on the road tonight taking on Colleen Harker Heights 17-13. Colleen Harker Heights with the lead over Mojo. Pflugerville Weiss. The Weiss Wolves, rather, a 28-16 lead over New Braunfels as the Unicorns hit the road up to the field tonight. Taylor 20, Smithville 13, second quarter there. Salado trailing Little River Academy 28-14 in the second. See if there's any others close. Burnett 21, getting 7, that in the second, late in the second quarter there. Thorndale 25, Iola 14, midway through the second. Dripping Springs shutting out Austin High 21-0 down at House Park. LBJ a 35-0 lead over Austin Northeast. Buda Johnson 17, Del Valle 0. That game started the second quarter. Rockdale trails Tuscola Gym 17-0 in the second quarter. And I think that is, San Marcos and Laredo Alexander, by the way, all tied to 10 at the half. One of the local score, Anderson 6, Bowie 0. That game in the first quarter as of last reported. Quickly, a couple of college scores, and then we'll take a break here. They're in the third quarter, a bit of an eyebrow raiser here. Maryland 21, Virginia 14. Maryland was a 2-score favorite tonight. Virginia had a 14-0 lead at one point in this game. Maryland has stormed back to take the lead in the third quarter. I see that, and I want to say it's an ACC game, forgetting that Maryland has been in the Big Ten for over a decade now, but that always feels like it should be an ACC game because, well, I grew up with Maryland being in the ACC, being that it's on the Atlantic coast, and it makes sense. Army, here's another eyebrow raiser, on the road at the Alamo Dome, leading UTSA 30-21, and I'm sure Army actually has a pretty big fan presence down there tonight with the base down that way. Pretty big fan presence for Army in that game this evening, I'm quite sure. But beating the UTSA Roadrunners right now by 9 at the Dome. And then also Service Academy football, the Air Force Academy They are on top of Utah State 29-7 late in the second up at Colorado Springs. Here in Manor, the McNeil Mavericks lead the Manor Mustangs 24-14 at the half. We're going to step aside, check out the rest of the halftime shows, come back for half number 2 between these two clubs. Stick around with us. We will be back in about 15 minutes or so and bring you what should be an exciting conclusion to McNeil versus Manor on the iHSFAN Network. Stick around. Back in just a bit. Back in Manor as we get set for half number 2 between the McNeil Mavericks and the Manor Mustangs. McNeil with a 24-14 lead on the iHSFAN network. This is Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford, Brad Tillery, and Ike Kohler here in the broadcast booth with you. And Ike, what does McNeil need to do? Getting the football back here to start this second half. What do they need to do to try to get some points here and really put some extra pressure on the homestanding Manor Mustangs here on homecoming?
I think they need to start to playing clean football, avoiding penalties, and blocking well up front. And Schultz has been passing the ball well this game. It'd help if they could get the running game a little bit more established, but as far as Williams goes. But, yeah, I think they just need to get a couple first downs, get in a rhythm, get in a groove, and just move the ball downfield. You know,
we have seen a lot more Jaden Schultz at quarterback tonight. Not as much rotation in the drives this evening. McNeil had 7 drives in that first half, and I can only recount 2 where Gerald Gary was the quarterback on the field. Schultz taking the bulk of the snaps. Gary, though, being very useful in kind of a do-everything role at wide receiver and running back with a touchdown from each position so far.
Yeah, and Schultz has been in the game a lot more than Gary at quarterback, but Gary has been Schultz's number 1 target at wide receiver.
Yeah, and there's a penalty, by the way, to start this second half. So Manor will get to kick the ball from McNeil's 45. You might see an onside kick here. If you were ever going to try one, worst case scenario is McNeil gets the ball at the 35. Let's see what Manor decides to do. Oh, they're going to kick it away. A little short pooch kick, fair caught at the 10, and that is smart football by McNeil for Joshua Gayton. Kind of surprised Manor didn't squib kick it to take the fair catch possibility out completely, because now that ball's back to the 25 as opposed to maybe with, short field to cover, could have maybe made a tackle inside the 15.
You're right. That is very smart football. And as far as onside's kicking it, if Manor would have onside kicked it, McNeil, if they recovered it, they would have started around the 30-yard line, which would have been
5 yards, 10 yards maybe. Yeah. I mean, I think you do one of 2 things there, honestly. You either onside kick to try to get the extra possession or squib it. Because if you squib it, it takes the fair catch out completely. And now you force a return knowing that they're probably going to field it around the 10, but you only have to run 30 yards to cover the football there. Interesting decision. McNeil will take it. 1st and 10 at the 25 for the Mavericks. Jaden Schultz, the quarterback, with Joshua Williams, the running back, to his left. McNeil leads this by 10 coming out of the locker room. Schultz drops straight back to throw. Across the middle, it is caught, brought down for a first down. A throw and catch today, Ron Calhoun. Calhoun has a 50-yard touchdown reception tonight. He's also got that long reverse run, and here a first down catch to start the drive.
Calhoun's picking up right where he left off in the first half. It was just a simple crossing route, and the defensive backs were giving him space. Schultz got it to him.
Calhoun a little slow getting off the field there. Kind of came down awkwardly on that play. It is 1st and 10 for the Mavs. Handoff to William. No, faked handoff to him. Thrown to the slot and caught for a gain of about 6 or 7. Bo Baker there on the little quick hitter. 6-yard gain, and a couple of throws from Schultz coming out of the locker room to loosen up this defense.
He's looking very comfortable back there. I don't think he's taken a sack tonight.
No, he hasn't that I can recall. To me, best game he has played so far this year for Jaden Schultz, and really night and day from last week, because this team he threw I think 3 or 4 interceptions last week. Tonight, a clean football game from the sophomore. There's a handoff to Williams, and he is stacked up, and he will be pushed back about 10 yards. Officially the loss of 2 or 3 on the play to the 38, but it really is kind of on Schultz right now, because this run game for McNeil has been stuffed all night long.
Manor has some big kids on the defensive line. You're right, as far as the run goes, they've been controlling the line of scrimmage for sure.
3rd down 7 now for the Mavericks. Schultz drops back. They'll throw a screen to the near side. It is to Aiden Taylor, and he's hit immediately. They'll even lose a yard on the play, and the Mavericks will have to punt it. So McNeil gets a first down on the opening play of the drive, and then will be forced to punt. Cole Faulkner doing the duties tonight in place of Bryce Wilson. Can't tell who's back deep for Manor right now. That's number 3, Elijah Prosser. He will wave everyone off. The punt is short. It takes a McNeil bounce. No return as this rolls inside the 30. Officially marked out around the 28-yard line, and that's 2 punts in a row where McNeil's kind of gotten a really nice bounce, gaining a few extra yards, but most importantly, no chance at a return, and forced the offense for Manor to drive the field.
Yeah, the ball has definitely bounced McNeil's way on the last 2 punts, and they've won the battle of field position tonight.
Officially marked at the 27 for the Manor Mustangs as they come out for their first possession of the second half. Titus Petaway, the running back, in there with Jason Zardovitz, the QB. It's handed to Petaway. Tries to break it outside. He is stacked up and pushed back. Maybe loses a yard on the play. Let's see who made that tackle. It was number 40 in there for sure on the tackle, Tony Shannon. I thought he had some help, but I couldn't tell who it was.
Aiden Taylor ran all the way down from safety.
No gain, 2nd and 10. Jason Zarnovitz hands it off to Petaway again, this time over the left side. He is submarine at the 30. That time Bobby Holland, the linebacker, steps up to make the play. A gain of a couple, but it's 3rd and 7. And this is what you want if you're this McNeil defense. Stop the run game and force Zardovitz to beat you. Jason Zardovitz drops straight back. Plenty of time. Rolls to his right. Now a man in his face. Still rolling to his right. Looks to throw. Floats one down the sideline, and it's complete. Well played by Cam Lewis to give his quarterback somewhere to go with the football, and he was able to find some open space about 20 yards down the field.
And that was great communication from Lewis and Zardovitz. Zardovitz was scrambling outside of the pocket and directing his receiver downfield and just lofted it to him, and number 24, Cameron Green, made the big hit.
1st and 10 now. There's a delayed draw to Titus Petaway, and he's still on his feet, able to push forward for about 4 yards. Second and 6 now. Zardovitz hands it to Petaway again. Through the hole. He's out to the 30. Spins off a tackler. And he's all the way to the 27 before he's finally stopped after a gain of 16, and that will move the chains. Flag down in the backfield, though. It's coming back. Holding against Manor. A big penalty against the Mustangs. Wipes off a 16-yard gain. Remember now, McNeil also, we talk about penalties, they've had 2 touchdowns taken off the board on penalties tonight.
That's right, I forgot about that. Both of them came in the first half. They were in the red zone. I think one of them was holding. Yeah, one of them was holding.
One was hold up the red zone, the middle. I forget what the other one was, but they both took touchdowns off the board. One of them was a field goal, ended up a field goal. The other one ended up at no points. So it's about 11 points off the board for McNeil tonight. Here it's 2nd and long. Zardovitz with plenty of time in the pocket, swings it out to Petaway. Plenty of room on the left side. Down the sideline before he's pushed out of bounds near the 30, and that's a first down. Just no one out there marking Titus Petaway out of the backfield. He picks up 23.
It was a delayed release by Petaway out of the backfield, and once he caught the ball, it was full steam ahead. McBride forced him out of bounds.
7:17 to go in the 3rd quarter. Manor with the football. 1st and 10 from the McNeil 31 here. Fake handoff. Zardovitz to throw. Down the right side in the middle, and he's got a man that is caught. Touchdown, Manor Mustangs. Peyton Guyton brings one in on a seam route down the middle.
That's the second touchdown pass by Zardovitz tonight. And the play, it was a good read. He faked the ran. All the linebackers thought it was run for a little bit, and all the receivers ran streaks downfield, and Guyton was open in the seam. As the extra point splits the uprights.
For Guyton, that's his first touchdown of the year. As Peyton Guyton finds the end zone from 31 yards out on the pass from Zardovitz. It is now a 3-point game. The lead is cut after a 6-play, 73-yard drive for the Manor Mustangs. It took 2 minutes and 28 seconds off the clock. 24-21 now. McNeil with the lead. This game, we've said it earlier, it was back and forth in the first half. Remember, McNeil didn't take that double-digit lead until right before the half, literally 3 seconds on the clock when they scored the touchdown to go up 10. And now that touchdown looks really big, Ike, when you stop and look at this game. Because they don't score there. This is Manor with the lead. Instead, McNeil's got a little breathing room. They're up 3, chance to get the offense back out and go rebuild this lead. The kick, end over end, fielded at the 11 by number 22, Joshua Gaden. Cuts upfield, still on his feet. He's out to the 32-yard line. I think this is an important drive for McNeil here, Ike.
It's very important. And if we look at last week's loss against Hendrickson, McNeil was up until midway through the quarter. They had a 17-14 lead, and then Hendrickson took the lead. So the Mavericks offense has got to stay poised, stay calm, and they've got to get the feeling they got to get something going.
Well, their success for the most part tonight has been on the edges. Soltz stays in at quarterback. Snap, handoff to Williams, up the middle, and he's able to find 4. Just not a whole lot of running room tonight for Joshua Williams. And they're going to go fast. We haven't seen this in a while, where they've gone really fast out in the run game. McNeil lines up. Now they'll check with the sideline here. We saw in week 1 they get under center and go really fast with the run game at times. Handoff, Williams again up the middle, behind his blockers, breaks out of a tackle. He's up to the 38-yard line. Gain of 3, it brings up 3rd and 3.
That's an interesting little wrinkle. There's a motion to Nicholas Falls to kind of slide behind the nose guard and help block.
3rd down, 3 yards. And it looked like the entire defensive line jumped. A pass down the right side, thrown up to Gary, incomplete. I don't see a flag down anywhere, Ike. Do you?
I don't see one either.
The entire defensive line jumped offside, it looked like to me. And we're sitting, as this play was snapped, right on the line of scrimmage. And they didn't give it to it. Wow. Soltz thought he had a free play, and I think rightfully so. It would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th down, and McNeil has to punt.
That is a tough break for Soltz in this offense. They went on 2, and there's a lot of movement at that line.
I'm standing right on the line of scrimmage right now watching this play, and that looked to me like the entire line jumped offside. Nobody back to field the punt. It will take a great McNeil roll. This ball inside the 20 all the way down to the 17, and that's where Manor takes over. 5:45 to go in this 3rd quarter. 3-point game. McNeil holds the lead over Manor.
I've been impressed with Faulkner in the kicking game tonight. All of his punts have been right on.
Yeah, Faulkner's done well tonight, and stepping in for Bryce Wilson, who, it's a guy we've seen with a big leg so far this year. He's not missed a kick all year. 4 receivers in the set. They'll fake the quick screen. Zardovitz looks to throw, and he just chunks it away. over the head of Jaden Buck.
It was Tony Shannon with the relentless pressure on Zardovitz.
2nd and 10 now for Manor. Zardovitz calls for the snap. They'll hand it on the delay to Petaway. He's hit once in the backfield, breaks out of a tackle, now pushes forward and just keeps those legs churning out to the 31. I thought he was going to be taken down for maybe a no-gain yard at most, and he's able to break out of a couple of tackles and find his way to the 31 for a 14-yard pickup. First down for the Mustangs.
Manor's taking their time on offense here.
Yeah, they did this last drive, too. They're not in a rush here. Another handoff to Petaway. Dances in the backfield at the line of scrimmage and just trying to find a hole. It's funny. It looks like he's kind of jumping in place, but he's jumping forward while finding spots to move and quietly. That's a 6-yard pickup. Doesn't look like much, but that's a 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4. Petaway makes a man miss in the backfield. I think he lost his shoe here, too. Running down that left sideline. He's off to the races, and he will go. Touchdown, Manor Mustangs. There's a flag down in the backfield. The crowd's up cheering, and I think they're just now seeing the laundry. Holding against Manor wiped the touchdown off the board.
Wow.
Whew. Mark that one. Both teams have now had at least one score taken off on a penalty, but that would have switched the game to the lead for Manor. Instead, it's 2nd and 20.
It would have turned this game on its head.
2nd and 14, I should say. The hold was down the field a bit.
I saw on that drive what you were talking about. He kind of hesitated.
Yeah.
And then he popped outside and he was gone.
Zardovitz takes the snap, drops straight back, plenty of time. Throws it deep down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. Intended for Cam Lewis. Christian Reyna on the coverage. 3rd and 14 coming up.
Good coverage by Reyna. It was about time Manor take a shot downfield after. There seems to be a pattern. They run the ball, they get the defense to bite on the run, and then before they know it, they take a shot deep downfield.
Zardovitz throws a pretty deep ball, too. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. They'll motion another receiver out left as well here on 3rd and 14 to the Mustangs. Blitz coming. Zardovitz rolls left. He will throw it towards that sideline. He's got a man open, and it is knocked out. Incomplete, nearly intercepted. Caden Patty got his hands on it and couldn't bring it down, but that will force a punt.
Caden Patty was the safety, and the ball was deep on the sideline, and it hit his hands. He had a great opportunity to get an interception. Zardovitz throws a pretty deep ball, but that one just wasn't deep enough.
Punt time here for the Manor Mustangs. Last time they dropped back to punt, Ronzel Woods had it blocked. Big play on that drive was the touchdown. That was not. This could be 28-24 Manor. Instead, McNeil about to get the football back with a 3-point lead. Manor will bring an extra man in to block here late. They can't get set. Low snap. It is a low line drive kick, and this is going to be a procedure penalty against the Mustangs. No one was set. And if I'm McNeil, I'm thinking about bringing heat every time against this Manor punt team right now. Couple of bad snaps we've seen tonight. Anything to do to keep pressure on them. Kicker doesn't have the biggest leg, so even if you fair catch it, you're still going to get some great field position most likely here.
It looks like they will bring the pressure. That's a good point.
Yeah, McNeil lining up like they're really coming after this. There's a snap. McNeil almost got to it. Kick is gotten away by Woods. Fielded by Aiden Taylor, makes the first man miss. Cuts back across the field to the right side, and he's out to the 49-yard line. So the Mavericks get great field position to start this drive with 4:09 to go in the third quarter.
They certainly brought their pressure on that punt. It was just a bull rush right up the middle. And Aiden Taylor was able to make the first guy miss and tried to cut back. And then the defender, credit to him for keeping the steady effort on the play, bringing down Taylor.
1st and 10 for the McNeil Mavericks as they trot back on the field. It looks like Gerald Gary is going to be the quarterback for this drive. See if they try to use his legs from the quarterback position a little bit here. He could throw it now too, but be interested to see if they run a little read option with him and Joshua Williams to try to open up the run game. So there it is. Keeper on the left side. Gary with room to run. Leaps over a man, and he is out to the 40. The ball is on the ground, though. A scramble for it near the 37, and Manor says they came up with it. Flag comes down late as well. Some pushing and shoving after the play. We will see who has the football. There's been no official word. I think Manor has the ball the way everyone's reacting, and McNeil's walking off the field. We will see. A heck of an athletic play from Gary to leap over a defender, but he couldn't keep the handle on the football when he came down. And now the officials have to adjudicate everything that just happened.
I couldn't tell from here if Gary was down before the ball came out.
The way everyone's reacting on the field, this seems pretty clear that this is a turnover. The defense already out there for McNeil. But there's not been an official signal either way. So we're going to wait. Sideline warning against Manor was the flag. That's their first one of the game. It is a fumble, and it is Manor football at the 38.
That was a heck of a play by Gary, hurdling the defender, showing how athletic he is. Just unable to control the ball.
So Manor takes over at the 38. 1st and 10. They fake the handoff to Petaway. Zarnovitz scrambling in the backfield. Rusher's coming. He's got a man in his face. Tries to throw it away, and that should be intentional grounding. He was still in the tackle box that did not get past the line of scrimmage. They're talking it over, but I thought he was in the tackle box. Either way, the ball didn't get past the line of scrimmage.
It didn't get past the line, and there wasn't a receiver in the area anyway.
Wow. 2nd and 10. And I'm going to tell you, folks, there have been about 3 or 4 calls tonight that have gone against the McNeil Mavericks. Fake the handoff to Petaway. Again a rush coming. Chasing Zarnovitz. Tries to throw. Clutches. Now looks for the man down the sideline. Incomplete. 3rd down coming up. It was intended for Darion Houston. And this rush from McNeil starting to aggravate the quarterback, Jason Zarnovitz.
And Manor has had receivers open downfield these last 2 plays.
There's a flag down on the opposite side of the field here, too. Depending on what it is, if you're McNeil, you might decline this and take 3rd and 10. Well, there's the penalty to the 38. They will apparently take the yardage back to the 33. So it is 2nd and 15, and kind of surprised McNeil didn't go for a decline penalty there to go for 3rd and 10 instead of 2nd and 15. There's a fake handoff and another procedure penalty against the offense. So Manor will back it up. It's now 2nd and 20.
This defense putting the pressure on the offense here, maybe causing some uncharacteristic mistakes. And on those last 2 passing plays, Zardovic had players open downfield, but the pass rush was so prominent, there was nothing he could do.
2nd down and 20. Ball at the 28 now for the Manor Mustangs. See how McNeil decides to play this if they keep bringing the heat. Fake the handoff to Petaway. Rolls out of its left. Throw it back to Petaway on the near side. He's got a catch out to the 40 before he's thrown out of bounds at the 41. Well-designed play to get into his hands. Pick up some yardage. Bobby Holland takes him out. And it should bring up 3rd and about 7 or 8 here. Third and 7, 3:31 to go in the 3rd quarter. McNeil hanging on to a 3-point lead. Zardovic with all day in the pocket. Nobody open. Now scrambles to his left. He's got plenty of room to run. He'll pick up a 1st down and more as he slides across the midfield line to the 48. Great coverage down the field, but no one accounting for the quarterback coming out of the backfield.
And great awareness by Zardovic, too, getting down, knowing where the 1st down is, and giving himself up after he passes the 1st down marker, making sure a fumble or an injury doesn't happen.
1st and 10, Manor now at the McNeil 48. Snap brought down. They'll throw to the near sideline. It's caught by Peyton Guyton. Got a blocker in front of him and then kind of pushed out of bounds at about the 43. Cameron Green forcing him out. I think another penalty flag might be down here. Nope, we're good. Pickup of 6 on the play. Handoff this time to Petaway. He makes the 1st man miss in the backfield. A 2nd man miss. Now he shakes it outside to the left. And he is out to the 30-yard line. What a run from Petaway. As tight as Petaway. I mean, he made 2 or 3 guys miss before he ever got to the line of scrimmage.
Wow, that was a heck of a run.
First and 10 now for Manor at the McNeil 30. They hand it to Petaway again. Dances through the hole. Knifes forward, and he's out for a 9-yard gain to the 21. He reminds me so much in many ways of Le'Veon Bell. Just a very patient runner looking for that way to explode through the hole, but will make some moves in there, kind of a mix between Bell and a little bit Barry Sanders as well. Just the ability to make a subtle step left or right and make defenders miss.
And he's kind of taking control of this drive. And you mentioned, these all-time great running backs. Manor has had some prominent running backs come through the program. A few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, Taj Brooks, who's currently the running back at Texas Tech, led Manor to the 4th round of the playoffs. And recently, Quentin Joyner, who's just got his first action at running back at USC, who graduated last year, came through the Manor program. You mentioned the backyard brawl, Pittsburgh versus who's Pittsburgh playing?
West Virginia tomorrow.
Yeah, a Manor alumni, Che Nwabuko, is playing for Pittsburgh.
Good old backyard brawl. Last year it was a heck of a game. They played on opening night last year on a Thursday evening in Pittsburgh. They haven't played that game too often lately. I used to play it every year. It was one of the nastier rivalries in college football. Still is. But since they got out of the Big East, they haven't played it much. 2nd and 1 here. Quick little slant inside. It's incomplete. Just thrown behind Johnny Buhindwa. Here comes 3rd and 1.
Manor's lucky it didn't get picked off there. the ball was kind of floating in no man's land for a little bit. Just went right through the receiver's hands.
3rd down on a yard. Petaway in the backfield. I expect him to get this one. They hand it right to him up the middle. Plenty of room. He's untouched. Now pushes a man over on a stiff arm, lowers his shoulder, and finds his way to the 16. Whew. Some tough running there, and the hit he laid that Petaway actually laid on the defender has the defender slow to get up.
And I believe this is Manor's longest drive of the game so far.
Their second longest.
Second longest.
Yeah. Now, they had a drive that was 10 plays. Started at the 25, and an interception was thrown late in the drive. They also, their opening drive, yardage-wise, started at 28, ended in a touchdown. They had a drive as well this quarter that started at the 27, ended in a touchdown. This one starting at the 38. So they've been able to move the ball tonight. Manor really, they've been their own worst enemy at times with the fumbles and an interception thrown. If they could have played a little cleaner on offense in the first half, they probably either have the lead or it's tie game, something of that nature at the locker room. Of course, you could say the same thing for McNeil with the 2 touchdowns that were wiped off the board due to penalties.
All right. If McNeil's defense can make a stand here, we haven't seen. I don't know if the Manor kicker can kick a field goal and tie up the game. They'd have to go for it.
Yeah, I think anything outside of 25 yards is going to be dicey right now for Manor. Ball's at the 17-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. They fake the handoff. Zardovitz rolling right, being chased down the backfield. He slips, and he is down at the 28. He was chased down by Jarrett Black, and Jaden Wellmaker tried to cut, and he just lost his footing. That's a big-time 11-yard loss and a sack there for the McNeil defense.
And the last 3 times Zardovitz has ran out of the pocket, the defensive line has been right there with him, putting the pressure on him. He tried to cut back and run to his left side of the field and just lost his footing.
2nd and 21. They hand it off on the delay to Petaway. Up the middle he goes, and he's taken down from behind at the 21-yard line. Tony Shannon with the tackle.
Tony Shannon has had himself a game tonight. A great game.
Third down, 14 to go. I would imagine after that run play on 2nd down, they're thinking this is 4-down territory right here. Because like you mentioned, kicker may be a question mark with the leg that they can get here. They hand it off to Petaway again. Takes a time, busts through a hole up the middle, leaps over a man, stays on his feet, fumbles it into the end zone. Did he get it back? Touchdown. Petaway fell on it after the fumble into the end zone, and Manor has regained the lead. What a play by Titus Petaway, leaping over a defender and finding his way to pay dirt.
Titus Petaway making that look effortless. I mean, similar to Gary's hurdle, but this time he took it to the end zone. Wow.
I mean, Petaway was kind of a bit of an unknown coming into the season this year around Central Texas high school football. If you're not a college guy looking at some tape right now, you might be missing out on a late bloomer for a senior running back here in Manor. His 2nd touchdown run of the game, 13th of the season for Petaway. Manor has regained the lead. Extra point is due from Victor Villalba here.
He made that look effortless.
That was... Kick is up, and it is good.
Petaway, we talked about it earlier, averaged 250 yards a game, and this is only his first year playing linebacker.
Running back.
Running back. Yeah, played linebacker last season. Had 700 before this game. Had 751 rushing yards. He's a strong kid. He squats 500, deadlifts 500.
I'm telling you, somebody is going to find a diamond in the rough when it comes to recruiting. Because recruiting guys, they see the services and they don't see them too late. Somebody is going to see Penaway this year, and he's going to get a scholarship offer and turn heads at the next level. He's a heck of a running back. His vision, his patience, explosiveness, fun to watch. Well, McNeil trying to figure out a way to make a comeback now, down 4. Here's the return from Joshua Gayden, and he takes a big hit at the 25. He stood right up. All the momentum belonging to Manor right now, with 12 seconds to go in the third quarter.
It was number 26, Justin Parker, delivering the big blow for the Mustangs. Talk about a way to fire up a sideline.
Yeah, the whole crowd here got loud after that one. You could feel it. You could see it. And here's McNeil now with the football. 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Mavericks have been held off the scoreboard this quarter. In fact, they have only run 8 offensive plays since coming out of the locker room. Couple that with Manor's 22. Fake handoff, quick throw to the near side. That one is complete. Down the sideline goes Zach Christie across the 30. Still on his feet. Flag comes in late as well. Christie out of bounds at the 33, and we'll see what the flag's about. That flag came in from Elgin.
At least 15 yards up the field.
I mean, that came in from all the way across from Elgin, man.
It came flying in. Like a kite.
I'm just saying, if you're coming from Elgin, at least bring some sausage with you. And that'll come back holding on the offense against McNeil. Backs the Mavericks up 10 yards. Now it's holding from the spot of the foul. So officially it's only going to back them up 22. So it'll be 1st and 13 for McNeil. They'll wind the clock here as well. And that should end the third quarter. It will. We are through 3 quarters, 12 minutes of football left. It's a good one here in Manor. The Mavericks looking for a comeback. They trail it 28-24 to the Manor Mustangs. Back with the fourth quarter in just a minute. This is Round Rock ISD football presented by Covert Ford on the iHSFAN network.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility. And with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. CovertFord.com.
To the fourth quarter we go with the McNeil Mavericks trailing the Manor Mustangs 28-24 here on Round Rock ISD football presented by our friends at Covert Ford. Wise words from goalkeeper Brad Stuver of Austin FC in that commercial there to go see our friends at Covert Ford. You can see for Brad on Sunday night. They got a national TV game Sunday night to Austin FC at home here. I'll be in all my Verde and black at the stadium. Sure losing my voice like I usually do. Here we got a great football game. 1st and 13 for McNeil after the penalty. Soltz throws one down the middle, and it falls just short of Bo Baker, incomplete. Threw that one a bit off his back foot. Brad Tillery, Ike Kohler here with you from the broadcast booth. No game next week. We got the week off. McNeil Mavericks, and I think the entire district takes the week off next week. Next game for McNeil will be at Vista Ridge in Cedar Park. Short drive. It's funny. We'll talk about that here in a second because it always kind of cracks me up. First of all, 2nd and 13. Fake the handoff. Soltz looks to throw. He's got a man across the middle in the drag route. Dayron Calhoun turns the corner. He's down the sideline and up to the 45-yard line. A first down and more for the McNeil Mavericks. Calhoun Remember, he came off limping early, gingerly. Still doesn't seem all the way back, but a nice catch and run and a first down for McNeil. 20-yard gain.
He's still got a little bit of a limp coming off the field, but during the play, he was explosive. He was moving.
McNeil's next game will be at Gupton Stadium. That's the one that's literally like a mile as the crow flies from the Kelly's Athletic Complex, but two different ISD stadiums. Schultz to throw again, and it's a bit low and incomplete intended for Gerald Gary. And I think what you're starting to see from McNeil here, going to the air a bit more. Putting this on Jaden Schultz because the running game just has not been there much tonight for McNeil.
And really this whole game, Schultz has been in control of this offense.
Second and 10 for Jaden Schultz and the McNeil Mavericks. Looks to throw. And that one is complete incomplete rather, thrown just behind Bo Baker. He was open in the slot. Third down.
The ball just barely missed the mark, was thrown a little bit behind him, and it was a dart thrown. It had a good pace to it, and Baker just unable to adjust.
Couple of misfires there on the last two plays. Just a hair off on both of them. One a little low, one a little behind. Third and 10 now for McNeil from their own 45-yard line. Schultz drops straight back. He's going to keep it around the right side. Crosses the 50, on his feet to the 40, and he's got a first down and more inside Manor territory to the 35-yard line and a 20-yard gain.
Jaden Schultz putting the team on his back on third down when they need him most. The right side of the field was open, and he took off scrambling, was able to get the first down.
He's got an explosive step to him, doesn't he?
Quick twitch, quick power.
First and 10, Schultz to throw. Down the middle, and it's incomplete, and oh, man. He missed Bo Baker, and Bo Baker put his hands on his head. It was intended for Dayron Calhoun, but Baker, down the numbers on the left side, was behind the defense and would have walked in for a touchdown. Second and 10. Three receivers left, one to the right. That's Gary one-on-one to the right side. We've already seen him make a fantastic one-on-one catch and run touchdown tonight. They will look his way. Float one down the right sideline. Gary goes up for it, and it's incomplete, but pass interference the call. It goes against L.J. Carter, who just got right up into Gerald Gary's body. Easy decision. 15-yard penalty. Moves the sticks down to the 20.
And I saw them line up before the snap. Gary and Carter were in one-on-one coverage, and Carter was giving him no space at the line.
If you give Gary one-on-one with no help, safety over the top, I think you have to throw it to him no matter what. With his ability, he got behind Carter on the play.
Oh, yeah.
But even if you play off of him 5, 6, 7 yards, throw him the ball and let him make a man miss. There they go again. No safety help on the top to the near side to Gary. Looks left this time to Schultz. He fires to the end zone. Got a man open. It is caught. Touchdown, McNeil Mavericks. Bo Baker finds the end zone, and the Mavs go back on top with 11:07 to go in the ball game.
That was a huge score for the Mavericks, and how about Jalen Schultz marching his team downfield, passing the ball around, and Bo Baker was in the slot. He ran a seam route, was just kind of standing by the goal line, and Dayron Calhoun ran a curl by kind of drawing the cornerback in and left Baker open. And now the Mavericks will go up 3 points here early in the fourth quarter.
Extra point is good. How about that? Bo Baker, his first touchdown catch of the year. Couldn't have come at a bigger time for the McNeil Mavericks. They regained the lead. 31-28 your score here early in the fourth quarter. Schultz to Baker from 20 yards out. That is Schultz's third touchdown pass of the game.
And I think hands down this is Schultz's best game of the year.
Oh, without question.
And it couldn't have come at a better time with it being first game in district play against a Manor team who is a great team, great football team at Manor.
7 plays, 75 yards on that drive. It took just a minute and 5 seconds off the clock with all the passing. 31-28. McNeil back on top here. Cole Faulkner to kick it away. And we knew with McNeil last year they played a ton of one-score games. But one of them was Manor. Manor took him to the woodshed last year, to be quite polite about it. 45-14. Tonight, different ball game. The run-up from Cole Faulkner. End-over-end kick. That's going to drive the receiver back, Peyton Guyton. He fields it at his own goal line. Gets ahead of steam. Makes a man miss at the 20. Still on his feet. He's out to the 27. Almost broke one. So Manor with the football. Their first touches of the first quarter with 11 minutes to go. The fourth quarter, rather. 11 minutes to go in this contest.
That was a great return by Guyton. There was a sliver of a hole in the middle. If he could have just broken one more tackle, could have ran through.
Yeah, I think if he does break that last tackle, he might be gone. It was a line drive kick, and the McNeil defense, the McNeil coverage team had gotten down there pretty well. But once you get past that line, that wave of coverage, nobody back there. Here we go, 1st and 10, Manor from their own 27 as they try to answer the McNeil score. There's a handoff to Petaway. Works his way through the hole, stays on his feet. Little help from the McNeil defense from the umpire there. And it'll hold Petaway to an 8-yard gain at the 35. Second and 2. See if Manor tries to grind this one down a little slower and just a heavy dose of Titus Petaway. They'll hand it to him again. Untouched over the left side for his first 7 yards. Now he's off to the races. Stiff arms a man and goes down at the 38. Flag comes in late. Keegan McBride made the tackle. Now I want to know what this flag is because it looked like a pretty clean tackle. Going to call a face mask here? Face mask against McBride and the McNeil Mavericks. So add on 15. That's a 32-yard run. Add on 15 more. Makes it a 47-yard play.
And the blocking on that run in front of Petaway was key. He had 2 blockers out in front of him. He could navigate behind.
So 1st and 10 down at the 22 already for Manor. They've run just 2 plays on this drive. They'll fake the handoff, a little bit of a broken play, and taken down in the backfield, dropped for a sack. Zardovitz had nowhere to go. Bobby Holland makes the play. It looked like Zardovitz wanted to hand it off to one of his 2 running backs back there. It was a miscommunication all the way around, and Holland alertly took advantage.
It just took a little bit too long to develop, and Holland wasn't fooled at all, and neither was Caden Patty. Zardovitz could have thrown the ball away, but Caden Patty came in and finished the play.
11-yard loss, 2nd and 21 now from the 33-yard line. Zardovitz takes the snap, fakes the handoff, floats one towards the near side, and it's almost intercepted. Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. Big Darren Powell gets his paws up. It's 3rd and 21.
That's a heads-up play by Powell. Getting his hands up, swatting the pass down.
3rd down, 21 now for the Manor Mustangs. 9:27 to go in the ball game. McNeil leads it by 3. There's the snap. Zardovitz to throw. Pressure coming. He steps up, throws it towards the end zone. He's got a man. It is incomplete, and the flag comes in late. Flag will go against Keegan McBride, intended for Jaden Buck in the back left corner of the end zone. And they're going to say McBride made contact just a wee too early, and that will bail out Manor for a first down.
That was a heck of a throw by Zardovitz. And it was a bang-bang play in the end zone, but the referee at the pylon had the best view at it, throwing the flag. I thought it was a great play by McBride, but Manor will now have a fresh set of downs.
Jaden Buck is slow to get up down behind the end zone after that play. Thus the stoppage here. It seems like almost every key flag tonight has gone against McNeil. The one big one that did go against Manor was that the run back, the touchdown that was pulled back. But man, it just feels like every time McNeil makes the play they need to make. 1st and 10 Mustangs, I should say, as Manor has the ball at the 18. Handoff up the middle. Penaway dances his way through, breaks off a tackle. Still pushing forward. Down to the 6 or 7. He's got a first down.
Titus Petaway just slowly navigating the defense.
I mean, he's unreal, man. He has, for his first year as a full-time running back, he has some skills that you don't really teach. First and goal now for Manor at the 7-yard line. They'll hand it to Petaway again. No, they faked it. Zardovitz keeps it rolling to his left, trying to get to the pylon. He lost it out of bounds, but it will stay with the Mustangs. He was reaching out for the pylon there and lost control completely. That ball goes back to the spot of the fumble at the 6.
It's important for the defense to continue doing what they did on the last plays. Keep an eye on Zardovitz and his legs.
Second and goal. They hand it off to Petaway this time. Pushing up the middle, stacked up, and they will push him into the end zone. Touchdown, Manor Mustangs, as the signal goes up late. He was kind of chugging along with his legs, and then his teammates got there and pushed him in to help him out for that last yard or two, and the Mustangs go back on top with 8:26 to go.
This has been a back-and-forth game, and what a run. It was a great run by Petaway. He was stood up by a couple defenders on the goal line, but not long enough for the officials to blow the whistles dead, and then the rest of his teammates, his buddies, his pals came to help him out and push him over the goal line.
Petaway's 3rd touchdown run of the night gives him 14 on this young season. 7-play, 73-yard drive, took 2:34 off the clock, and a big extra point here for Victor Villalba to make it a 4-point game. Snap is good. The hold is down. It is up, and it is good. And your score, with 8:26 to go, Manor has retaken the lead 35-31.
And that was a huge extra point, because if he misses, it remains a one-possession game and just within a field goal's reach. But if you're McNeil, you got to rely on Jalen Soltz at quarterback and to have poise and to keep competing like he's been doing all game.
That is the 6th lead change of the night. Back and forth these two teams go. Only once has a team had a double-digit lead this evening. That was McNeil at the half. They led it 24-14 at the break.
Manor is about on pace to what they've scored each of their first 3 games. They scored 39 in their first one, 47 against Cornerstone, and 36 against Copper's Cove.
Villalba to kick it away again for the Mustangs. There's the run up in the boot. End over end. Fielded by Aiden Taylor. He's going to let it bounce. That's a live football. Picks it up at the 13. Tries to go to the left side. Now cuts back up the middle. And he's out to the 23. 8:22 to go. I'm sure the coach's throat's kind of Our hearts kind of jumped up in their throats there when that ball bounced from Taylor.
I jumped out of my seat. I can't imagine.
They officially mark it at the 24 to start the drive. I believe both teams have the full complements of timeouts. They say 3 on the board, but I'm not necessarily trusting the scoreboard tonight. McNeil and Jaden Soltz back out there at quarterback. Soltz takes the snap, fakes the throw, the run, now throws down the middle, floats one, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Joshua Williams, had it in his hands, but Williams had it dislodged before he could bring it in. Second down.
That was a tight window he had to fit it in because he had to get it over the linebacker, but he had to get the ball down before the safety could run up and pick it off.
I mean, he really dropped it in the bucket. Just a tough play for Williams. I mean, you get hit right when you catch it. There's not much you can do. 2 receivers on each side for Jaden Soltz, the sophomore, to work with. He'll drop back to pass. Throws, and it is down the seam, incomplete. Little skinny post route intended for Zach Christie. 3rd and 10. You wonder with Soltz's speed at some point if the coaches aren't going to maybe encourage him to take off a little more just to keep this Manor defense honest.
Maybe get the read option game going with Gary in the backfield.
3rd down, 10 to go. This is a big play for McNeil. You can't afford a 3 and out after going down 4 here with 7:56 left in the contest. Soltz has Williams to his left. 3 receivers on the left side, 1 to the right. I guess they're trying to get a procedural thing going up here. The clocks aren't working right. Crowd's up making noise, and referee's not set for play. There we go. They're adding a few seconds back on the game clock. It's 8:02 to go. 8:01 is what the clock should say. Looks like they're happy enough with it. 3rd and 10. Soltz drops straight back, throws it to Gary, and it's low and incomplete. That'll be a 3 and out for McNeil, and it's 4th down coming up.
The ball was just a little underthrown.
Well, it's going to be on the McNeil Maverick defense to make some plays here. I'll have to punt this one away to Manor. 8:01 to go in the game. The Mustangs lead it by 4. Punt back, fielded by Elijah Prosser. And Prosser is able to get out to the 47, 48-yard line. So Prosser will get Manor great field position to start this drive, and a key drive here for Manor's offense to try to get some cushion. They have not had a lead bigger than 4 all night, Ike.
And a key part of that is Manor hasn't turned the ball over the second half. I expect to see a heavy dose of Titus Petaway on this drive.
They'll fake the handoff. Zardovitz throws down the sideline, incomplete. Threw it behind his intended receiver, Rayshad Gray. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Rayshad Gray was named the homecoming king at halftime tonight.
It's a good deal. Congratulations to him.
Second and 10 coming up here. Handoff. Nope, they fake it. Zarnovitz throws, finds Gray, in and out of his hands, incomplete. 3rd down and 10 coming up. Keegan McBride with the hit to dislodge the football.
He hit Gray as soon as he caught it. And Gray didn't really have a chance to hold on to the ball. And great play by McBride. And now McNeil has this Mustangs offense in a 3rd and 10 situation.
3rd and 10, Manor. And arguably the biggest play of the night for the McNeil defense so far. They've got to find a way to get the offense the football back. Zarnovitz fakes the handoff, rolls right, throws back left. They'll find Petaway, and he is open for a 1st down at the 38 of McNeil. That's the 2nd time tonight they've rolled Zarnovitz right and run Petaway out of the backfield. Nobody's catching him. 13-yard gain to move the sticks.
And that's only the 2nd time they've used Petaway as a receiver tonight, and that's why it's caught the defense off guard, and it's a great play. Good timing to call it, too, on a 3rd down.
1st and 10. Ball at the McNeil 38 now with 7:39 to go in the game. Hand off to Petaway. He's hitting the backfield and dropped for a loss of about 2. Jaden Wellmaker in there in the backfield right when Petaway was taking the handoff.
Wellmaker making a great stop on 1st down.
2nd and 12 coming up. Manor in no rush, trying to milk some of this clock. 7:09 to go. And that's going to be a snap infraction. It'll back the Mustangs up 5 more. Looked like the center picked the ball up and then set it back down. The McNeil band across the way, you can hear them playing. They're taking up a whole section of that opposing sideline over there, Ike.
I was watching them at halftime. They were a fun group to watch.
Second and 15 for Manor. They send Johnny Buhinjwa in motion, fake his way, now throw it back near side to Titus Petaway on the screen. He's got all kinds of room to run, still on his feet inside the 20, inside the 15, 1st down and more for the Manor Mustangs as Petaway on the throwback screen picks up 32.
That's similar to the last time when Petaway got the ball. It was a fake throw to the right, and then Petaway slipped open on the screen.
1st and 10 now. Jason Zarnovitz trying to engineer what could be the touchdown drive that puts the nail in the coffin tonight. They send a man in motion, outright. They hand it off to the backup running back. This is Nick Thomas stretching it out right. He makes one man miss, still on his feet, now going backwards, and McNeil's going to drop him for a big loss behind the 20, back to the 22. A 9-yard loss on the handoff to the backup running back, Nick Thomas. And now you can see they're going to quickly bring Titus Petaway back onto the field. Man needs a break.
One play is about all he gets on this drive.
Second down and 19 here for Manor. They hand it off to Petaway up the middle. Stutter steps out to his right, now back to the left. Still on his feet, inside the 5, touchdown Manor. What a run. His 4th score of the night. Titus Petaway from 22 yards out.
Titus Petaway is going to be a name to remember for a long time. His 4th touchdown of the night. Look at that run. I mean, he hesitated. He sidestepped around defenders even though they were coming right at him. He just eluded tacklers, and he made it look effortless. And right now, Manor is in the driver's seat. They're going to be up double digits now with a little over 5 minutes left. Making it tough on the Mavericks.
Now this one's going to, if the Mavs can't come back tonight, this one will sting. They had a 10-point lead at the half. The football coming out of the locker room as the extra point is good. Your new score with 5:10 to go in the contest, Manor 42, McNeil 31. Manor has outscored McNeil 28-7 here in the second half. Petaway has scored the last 3 touchdowns for the Manor Mustangs. 7-play, 52-yard drive, 2 minutes, 42 seconds off the clock for Manor. And the McNeil Mavericks got to find a way to score quickly, get a stop, and get the ball back one more time after that now.
If they can go down and score, the scoreboard says they still have 3 timeouts left, so that they'll have a chance to get a stop. And it's kind of feeling similar to their last game against Hendrickson, where they didn't score much in the second half at all.
Now, the amount of plays being run by Manor versus McNeil here in the second half, there's a huge disparity here as the kickoff goes out of bounds. We'll see what happens here because last time this happened in the game, McNeil decided to make Manor re-kick it. McNeil has run 18 plays in the second half. Manor has run 36. So twice as many plays as McNeil here in the second half. The defense has been out there a lot since coming out of the locker room. Well, McNeil's going to do exactly what they did earlier, and Coach Hermes is going to make this Manor football team re-kick it. We've mentioned a couple of times, Victor Villalba, he's been perfect on extra points so far tonight, but not a huge leg. So McNeil wants a chance to maybe run one back, get a quick score, and keep this game going. Still 5:06 to go. Plenty of time for a couple of touchdowns, but you got to get some stops, too.
And now would be a great time for a return from Joshua Gayden.
Seems like they've been kicking it away from Gayden on purpose most of the night, too. There's the kickoff. It is headed towards Aiden Taylor, who fields it at the 26. Taylor hits the hole. Makes the first man miss, but not the second. He does get out to about the 40-yard line, though. So McNeil has good field position to start the drive. .459 left in the contest. 42-31, Manor with the lead. I forgot to update the scoreboard here on the live stream. I apologize for that, folks. McNeil needs a quick score. They went 3 and out last time they had the football on 3 straight passes. Jaden Schultz rolls out to his right. Looks to throw. He's got a man. That's Gary near the 50. They'll give him forward progress at the 48. Gain of 8 on the play.
It's a nice little snag by Gary.
2nd and 2. Schultz rolling left this time. Will throw. He's got a man. That's open. That's caught. Complete at the 45 of Manor. First down. Dayron Calhoun hauls it in for a gain of 6. McNeil quickly into Manor territory. And I like what they're doing here on this drive, giving Schultz some easy throws, a couple of rollouts, and trying to move the ball quickly. You don't need a home run here. As long as you can move the ball, get 6-7 yards, and get first downs. The clock still stops on first down in high school ball. They'll throw down the seam. It is open, and he overshot his receiver, Calhoun. It's intercepted. Ronzel Woods picks it off, and Woods will be pushed out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Showing the football off to the crowd here on the near side. I think he was looking for his dad, and he found him. He threw the ball to him. He has to get it back now. He can't let him keep it. The referee won't let him do that. But the interception thrown. Jaden Schultz had Dayron Calhoun open down the middle and just kind of overthrew it just a bit. And his first interception of the night is a costly one.
Yeah, he was open. He was running the seam route, and he had a pocket of space. And it was just overthrown. He threw it right to the defender. And now there's a flag down on the play.
The hat is the official, too, here. I'm very confused on what all this all could be. But the defense is out there for McNeil, so nothing to suggest that you would have anything untowards. Illegal shift. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike. Oh, these are offsetting unsportsmanlikes. Okay. First down, Manor at the 43. A chance for them to salt this one away. 4:16 to go in the contest. Manor leads it by 11, and I imagine they're going to take their sweet, sweet time with this possession.
McNeil desperately needs a 3-and-out or a turnover here.
Referees taking their time getting the mechanics of this right. Now we're ready for play. Couple of men shift in motion to the right side for Manor. They'll also send Peyton Guyton that way. They hand it off up the middle. Stutter stepping forward, just kind of gliding his way through the defense is Titus Petaway. He's across the 50. Pick up about 7 or 8, but there is a flag down. We will wait the call. Everybody's walking back. This looks to be like it's against Manor. Illegal procedure is the call. So 1st and 15 now for the Manor Mustangs at their own 38-yard line with the clock running, under 4 minutes to go. Hand this one off. He bobbled in the backfield, did Petaway, and he's able to get to the line of scrimmage. He was bobbling that football on the handoff and did a really nice job of just securing it, not worrying about picking up yardage, but making sure he kept possession.
A fumble there would have given life into this McNeil team, their sidelines and their fans. But good job by Petaway. Ball security tonight for him has been a big deal.
I'll be curious to see what his total yardage is tonight on the ground. He had 750 yards rushing coming into tonight's game in just 3 games. And he could very well be close to 1,000 yards by the end of tonight after just 4 games.
That's video game numbers.
That's on pace for a 3,000 or a 2,500 yard season and a 10-game season. That's wild.
Yeah.
Hand off to Petaway, up the middle. Plenty of room. Across the 50. Breaks back to the right side, and he is out to the 45 of Manor. Officially down to the 44. 18 more yards on the ground for Titus Petaway.
It looks like there's another flag down in the backfield.
You wonder how many yards he's lost rushing on penalties tonight from his total.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because there's been at least a few holding calls.
Yeah. He's a special talent back there. Hard to deny. We always love to see our Round Rock ISD schools do well, and Ike and I have been following McNeil all year long, but you tip your cap to great talent when you see it, and you're seeing it tonight. Unsportsmanlike conduct after the play will add 15 yards to the run. So Manor goes down to the McNeil 29 with 2:58 to go in this contest, and it would appear as if Manor's going to had themselves a resounding comeback victory. And for McNeil, this one's going to be tough to swallow going into the bye week. Vista Ridge is on deck for the Mavericks in a couple of weeks at Gupton Stadium. We'll be over there for that one. Handoff, Petaway spins in the backfield, nowhere to go this time. Just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Mike, you've ever been to Gupton for a game?
I have.
Okay.
It was my sophomore year of high school. LBJ was playing Cedar Park in a playoff game there, and it went to overtime.
Was that the 10-7 game? Yeah.
It was a 10-7 game. Yeah, they threw it up in the end zone. It was a battle between Sean Fresh and the defensive back, and it was an interception that ended the game.
All I know is that you saying you were in high school means that I'm really, really, really old from when that game happened a few years ago. Should be 2nd down and 10 here. Fake handoff, Zardovitz directing traffic and just wisely takes the loss and goes down to keep the clock running at the 30-yard line, forcing McNeil to take a timeout. 3rd down coming up. .136 to go in the contest. Remember, stick around after the game. We'll do a quick post-game wrap-up, run you down the scoreboard from around the area. In fact, let's just start running scores now so we can make sure these fine folks around here try to get out of here at a decent hour. Bring up the old Friday football app and see what's happening. Oh, there we go. We talked about the finals from last night. In the area tonight, Bastrop has beaten Pflugerville 48-42. Vandergrift all over Stony Point, 48-7. Round Rock in a tight win with Westwood. The Dragons pick up a win, 24-21 in this district. Of course, Vandergrift and Stony Point also a district game here in 6A 25. The Wampus Cats, my new favorite nickname in Texas high school football. Itasca beats Bartlett 28-12. I have no idea what a Wampus Cat is, by the way. I just love it. 3rd and 13 coming up for Manor. They'll hand this one off to Petaway. And he just works his way forward to the 26. Timeout called again by the Mavericks. 4th down coming up. Granger beat Goldwaite 35-6. San Antonio Davenport crushing Lockhart 65-31 midway through the 4th. Rouse beats Liberty Hill 28-17 tonight. Big win for the Rouse Raiders. Elgin over Cedar Creek 57-7 late in the 4th. Vista Ridge beats Cedar Ridge in district play tonight 28-7. Harker Heights takes down Odessa Permian 24-22. So Harker Heights with the mojo tonight. Haha. Weiss 52, New Braunfels 44. That game in the 4th quarter late over at the field. Taylor all over Smithville 49-13 in the 3rd. Rogers and Palmer playing a good one 34-27. Rogers with the lead. About 40 seconds to go there. Little River Academy 55. Salado 21 midway through the 4th. Thorndale with a 1-point lead over Iola, 31-30, start of the 4th quarter there. Dripping Springs shutting out Austin High, 56-0, down at House Park in the 3rd quarter. Your alma mater, LBJ, all over Northeast, 62-0 in the 3rd. Time called here. I think maybe a flag came down. Buda Johnson a 37-0 lead over Del Valle late in the 3rd. Tuscola leads Rockdale 38-6 midway through the 4th there. San Marcos loses to Laredo Alexander 31-24. Bowie leads Anderson 27-16 midway through our late 3rd quarter there. Tomorrow, by the way, Seguin plays Kyle Lehman in the morning, as a sack will happen here in the backfield. Cole Haga gets in there to drop the quarterback Zardovitz, and that'll be a turnover on downs. So McNeil with a little bit of life. Clock is still running, by the way. Clock has got to stop here.
It ran off about 8 or 9
Yeah,
seconds.
there's some extra time that just ran off there. That was, you get a quick score, that could make a difference. Turnover on downs, though. McNeil will get the football. 1:30. Okay, they marked it back. 1:35 on the clock now. Let's look at NCAA scores real fast. A few games happening tonight. Bit of an upset down at the Alamo Dome. Army beats UTSA 37-29. Maryland fell down 14-0 to Virginia. They stormed back to win 42-14. And the Air Force Academy, trying to make it a perfect night for Academy football. They lead Utah State 39-21 up in Colorado Springs. Navy right now, the only team to lose in the academies. They all played Thursday and Friday this week. Navy played a really good football game last night with Memphis. That was my plane flight entertainment last night. Navy versus Memphis.
It's not bad for a plane at all.
Monday night when I flew up to where I had to go, I actually caught the entire Monday Night Football game on the flight. We got to the gate right when the punt return happened, when we got off the plane. First and 10, McNeil. Under 2 minutes to go. They need a desperation touchdown here. Throw it over the middle. It's caught by Calhoun across the 50. That'll be a first down. It stops the clock as they move the chains.
The throw is a tad high. Calhoun just going up and grabbing it.
McNeil's got to get faster here. Ball's already spotted. 1:20 to go in the game. Mavs down 11. They'll send Williams in motion. Looking to throw. Schultz trying to escape, and he is sacked at the 50. Timeout called by the Mavericks, and that'll be their final stoppage of the clock tonight with exactly 1 minute left on the game clock. Well, it appears as if Manor's going to get out of here with a victory on homecoming. For the Mavericks, they put up a heck of a fight tonight, and I think they're going to see this one as opportunity lost, Ike. This was a game that McNeil had a 10-point lead at halftime and came out, could not score coming out of the locker room, gave Manor some life, and Manor able to really, really lean on that run game. At one point, though, in the second half, McNeil did get the lead back, 31-28, but then it was really just the run game and Titus Petaway here in the second half, and some really wisely timed passes to him as well.
And they used Petaway out of the backfield on third down especially. Just catching the defense off guard. They just weren't really able to get off the field on third down.
Second down and about 13 here for the Mavericks. Schultz looks to throw. He fires, and that is intercepted at the 41, and that will seal the football game for the Manor Mustangs. Trevin Kanda comes up with the pick. Manor celebrating on this near sideline, and the Mustangs will get a district victory before heading to the week off next week.
And kind of got the sense Schultz had to do something on that play. I mean, I don't blame him for the interception. I mean, he had to try to make something happen.
Absolutely. Imagine Manor's going to take a knee here and run this. They'll have to take 2 knees before this clock can officially hit zeros. As the fans begin to you can see some cars filing out over the way here. They will take the first of 2 knees. Guys on the lines of scrimmage will start shaking hands and giving hugs to each other. Hard-fought game down there on the line of scrimmage for sure. It'll be second down and just one more snap of the football to end the game. There it is, and that will end the football game as the Manor Mustangs on homecoming pick up a come-from-behind win over McNeil. Final score tonight, 42-31 in favor of Manor. We're going to step aside, run a couple of quick ads, come back, and wrap it all up. Manor with the victory over McNeil, 42-31. This is Round Rock ISD football, presented by Covert Ford on the iHSFAN network.
I've always wanted an EV, but until I saw the sleek Ford Mach-E, I didn't know just how exhilarating it could be to drive one. The Mach-E is the perfect balance between power and utility. And with features like adaptive cruise control, in-dash entertainment screen, and lane monitoring, my daily commute to training is effortless. If you're looking to make the move to the Mach-E, visit Covert Ford in Austin, where you'll become part of the family. CovertFord.com.
Bush's Chicken is a proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs, with stores in Cedar Park, Round Rock, Georgetown, both North and South Austin, and our newest store serving Pflugerville and Hutto. Bush's serves the Texas standard in real hand-battered fried chicken and crispy tenders, tasty rolls, and that famous Bush's sweet tea. Bush's Chicken, proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs. The Texas standard. Bush's Chicken. It's good, good, good. Longtime McNeil parent Brian Kerman is a realtor who works for RE/MAX Capital City. Brian is involved in helping Round Rock families buy, sell, invest, and lease properties in the greater Austin area. He has been doing so for over 24 years. As a thank you to the community, he will be honored to donate $1,000 to your favorite booster club or other 501c3 if you use him and you close on a property. We hope you will contact Brian for all of your real estate needs at 512-921-4490 or at briankerman@remax.net.
If you're looking for a special medical spa to bring out the beauty that's in you, come visit us at Ginger Allure Med Spa. At Ginger Allure, we treat our staff and patients like family. We're here to embrace, enhance, and showcase your natural beauty with a full range of services such as injectables, laser treatments, permanent makeup, microblading, and more. We provide free consultations for all of our services to answer any of your questions. Visit us online at gingerallure.com or give us a call at 512-709-0161. Ginger Allure Med Spa, the classic approach to a new you.
Are you looking for a little something extra to get your business noticed? At Ideal Signs, they specialize in custom signage and large format digital printing in a variety of media. Their in-house design department can work with you to create custom artwork to your specifications. They'll work with you to conceptualize, design, and produce any custom projects or idea that you might have. Call 512-930-7446 or visit signsforsports.com. Ideal Signs, family owned and operated since 1969.
The Lodge Poker Club is a members-only card club offering a wide range of daily and tournament gameplay. In Round Rock, just off exit 251 on I-35, the Lodge now boasts the largest card room in Texas with 82 tables, comfortable chairs, and 40 75-inch TVs. The Lodge provides fully trained dealers and on-site security with state-of-the-art camera system to ensure the comfort and safety of our members. Open 24 hours a day. More information at thelodgepokerclub.com or call us at 512-614-4045.
Visit Maze Street Boutique in Round Rock for all your shopping needs. Whether you're looking for a special gift or that perfect outfit that everyone will love, we have you covered. Come visit us in-store or shop us online at mazestreet.com. We appreciate your business and thank you for shopping local. RJAC Pressure Washing, Epoxy and Stain. Veteran-owned and operated, serving Central Texas for the last 10 years. Residential and commercial services available here for all your decorative flooring needs. Call us at 512-593-8567. That's 512-593-8567.
Back in Manor where we wrap it all up tonight, 42-31 your final score. The Manor Mustangs defeat the McNeil Mavericks on the iHSFAN network. Brad Tillery, Ike Kohler here with you. And let's wrap it all and tell you how everything went down this evening. For Manor, they kicked off the game, took the football, and scored immediately a 50-yard touchdown pass from the quarterback, Jason Zardovitz, to Cam Lewis from 50 yards out. 7-0 in favor of Manor. Two teams would trade football for a little bit, and then McNeil kicked a field goal after a pretty long drive. Faulkner with a 26-yard field goal, 7-3 in favor of Manor at that point. Very next play, Manor would fumble the football. McNeil got great field position, could not take advantage, had a turnover on downs. Manor would then punt after a 3-and-out, and McNeil took a very short drive, just 3 plays to go 54 yards, 20-yard catch and run from I just lost it all of a sudden off my head. 20-yard catch and run from Jarrell Gary on the play, and that made it 10-7, a great catch and run for him on that one. You can actually see the highlight on Twitter. 10-7 in favor of McNeil. Manor would come back immediately and score on a 3-play drive of their own. The first of 4 touchdowns tonight from Titus Petaway. This one from 25 yards out, 14-10 in favor of Manor as we went to the second quarter. In the second quarter, McNeil took the very next drive and would score 70 yards, 6 plays. Jaden Soltz was behind his second touchdown pass of the night. This one to Dayron Calhoun from 50 yards out, 17-14 McNeil at that point. The Manor Mustangs would have a long drive, but then Keegan McBride would intercept the football to halt that one. Two teams would punt, but on Manor's next punt opportunity, it was blocked. McNeil gets the ball down to the 2-yard line, and with 3 seconds to go in the first half, Gary, with his second touchdown of the game, this one from 2 yards out on a rushing play, made it 24-14, and the Mavericks had a 10-point lead at the half. They also got the football coming out of the locker room in the second half, but could not do anything with it. They had to punt after 4 plays. Manor comes back, scores a touchdown almost immediately. 6 plays, 73 yards, 2:28 off the clock. As Zardovitz was able to find Peyton Guyton on 31-yard touchdown pass. It cut the lead to 3. Two teams would trade punts, and then McNeil, on their first play from the 49-yard line of the drive, would fumble the football. It was Jarrell Gary trying to jump over a defender. He got hit as he landed on the ground, fumbled the football as he was trying to just make a play. Manor got the ball at their own 38. They would drive all the way down the field, 11 plays. Petaway with a 21-yard touchdown run. That made it 28-24. McNeil, though, would not go quietly. Very next drive for them. A 75-yard drive, pretty much all through the air. Soltz able to find Bo Baker for a 20-yard connection. That made it 31-28 McNeil as we went to the fourth quarter of play. The Mavs with the 3-point lead, but the fourth quarter was all Titus Petaway and this Manor football team. Petaway and Manor takes it down the field, 2:34, 7 off the clock, 7-play drive, a 7-yard touchdown run from him, makes it 35-31. McNeil with a 3-and-out right after that, and Manor would come right back, put another drive together, 22-yard touchdown run from Petaway this time, 42-31 your score, and that is how the game would end. A valiant effort from McNeil tonight. This game at one point I think had 6 different lead changes, but the Manor Mustangs come out on homecoming with a 42-31 victory over the McNeil Mavericks. And your final thoughts, Ike?
You mentioned 6 league changes. This was a very back-and-forth game. It was hard-fought on both sides. And McNeil, I think it was late in the third quarter when they retook the lead, and Manor went out and won this game. And if you look at it, the Manor offense of Titus Petaway and then Zardovitz at quarterback, you know, they really went out and won this game, and it was their ability to convert 3rd and longs late in the game to keep this McNeil defense out on the field, and they were able to squeak it out tonight on homecoming. And you know, I was impressed by this McNeil team. They showed a lot of willpower. They competed hard, but I mean, we talked about it pregame. We've talked about at the beginning of the season. This district's every game's gonna be like this. They're gonna be tested every game.
Yeah, this won't show as being a one-score game in the final tally, but this really was a one-score game all night long. This felt like just a one-score game all night long, and yeah, only 2 times the entire game did someone have a 10-point or more lead. It was McNeil at the half, up by 10, and Manor at the final, winning by 11. Everything else was a 3 or 4 point game, seemingly the entire night tonight, just back and forth. And a lot of fun, a lot of good football this evening here in Manor, where the Mustangs take down the McNeil Mavericks 40-31. Our next broadcast is, I said it was going to be in Cedar Park. I lied. This game's actually going to be at the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex. The Vista Ridge Rangers come calling against the McNeil Mavericks on the 28th, the Thursday night of September at Kelly Reeves. So we'll be over there for that one. Manor will, let's see, as McNeil, by the way, is now 2-2 overall, 0-1 in district play. Manor 3-1 overall, 1-0 in district play. Their next contest on the 29th, they'll be at Vandergrift over at 4 Points in Austin. Well, that'll wrap it all up from Manor tonight. We appreciate you spending your Friday evening with us. Hope you have a safe and happy weekend. Maybe get some rain coming through. I mean, temperatures are cooling off, Ike. It's starting to actually feel like football weather. It's nice here in Central Texas. Finally, we're out of the heat dome, it feels like.
There's a constant breeze going. It's feeling like fall.
Yeah, we'll take it. It feels like summer, what summer should feel like. And we're getting towards fall. Yeah.
Good way of putting it.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. But we do appreciate you spending your Friday with us. Remember, no game next week for McNeil. We're back on the air Thursday the 28th as McNeil will host Vista Ridge. For Ike Kohler and all of us here at the iHSFAN Network, we're so happy you spent your Friday night with us. I'm Brad Tillery saying good night, everyone. Y'all have a safe, happy weekend. One final time from Manor, the Mustangs beat the McNeil Mavericks 42-31.
To the Horn Webcast Network, powered by iHSFAN. If you're interested in advertising on or privately supporting this webcast, please reach out to us on Twitter at iHSFAN. All audio rights of this webcast presentation belong to iHSFAN, and any intent to rebroadcast or retransmit must have express written consent